Yes,
The last
yes.
time we played, you were still far, far below Polythreme. In the abandoned city you sought answers from. You became embroiled in a fight, facing a nest of gargantuan purple worms that had made the central plaza of the city their home. At long last, after dispatching most of them, you were again able to delve even deeper, this time through a crack in the ground near the middle of the plaza, marked with warning stone. Below, you would find a refuge of the Dominion, a safe place of rest for the silver-born entities that plague you so. This refuge in question was that of Gromo, who has accompanied you thus far. You came here on the whim of two wizards, Vidar and Orvaith, both looking for clues and answers, namely why the refuge had been so important to the Archon that he would construct a memory of it, an alchemist, and any indication to the whereabouts of Adivir Boltzmann, another wizard and researcher of the Blight that may have key insights on the problems you are facing. What you found appears promising, sketched from every angle down to the most minute detail by Silas. You discovered an apparatus, one that had not been there yet in the Archon's memories. And similarly, with Gromo's remains now absent, another map lay revealed. Little more than a pattern, supposedly representing the flow of magic throughout the world, persisting throughout several ciphers even. Here we begin today's session. As you've made notes, sketched everything you'd found worthwhile, and as you yet remain in this chamber.
And I think we concluded it's about time to head out. Is that about right?
So what was that?
We had concluded it was about time to head back.
Yes. At least as far as you are aware, you found everything that was worth finding.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crap.
Yes.
He's not right here though. He's up with
He was up with the
Flint.
purple worms. Yeah.
Okay,
I remember some things.
Mrs. takes no notes. Only mental notes.
What a lie that turned out. Okay.
It's just what's in my head. I don't have anything to go back to remember fully.
And can we head back then? I don't know. Do we have anything else to do?
Quick question, Becker. As I'm thinking back as much as possible. We saw a sample area, essentially a very similar room in the Archon's memories. And they also had like a chamber that was shattered in it, correct? But it wasn't this one, or it was this one? I can't remember.
The refuge you saw in Arcanus, the reconstructed one, was this one.
Okay, it was this one.
And we've seen a similar but different one down near the lava giant place.
In the underground
Yeah.
by the magma.
But the being that was in that one is supposed to be dead, to our knowledge.
Correct.
And this one's Gromo's, and part of that was taken to create from?
part of Groma was taken.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Gromo is still missing pieces.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
And we
the
would
in-
assume that it's the wizards that did that, correct? From based off of them having the initial memory.
Yes.
Is that what our assumption has been? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Well, and-
just
and
trying
the
to make
Ar-
sure I'm
The Archon
remembering.
also has these weird silvery, like,
Yeah.
floaty orb
Mhm.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
the memory we were shown, though, did not have this part.
Correct.
Yes.
This part does.
The
is not.
apparatus that here was not there, and of course, where here the
Right.
pattern is revealed. Where the sort of remains of Gromo were the sphere that had already had pieces missing.
And are we making an assumption, and maybe I'm totally missing the mark here? Are we making an assumption that this was potentially from Boltzmann?
Yes. What and or the Archon both.
Mm-mm.
Boltzmann and the Archon are the people that found Gromo's chamber.
Okay.
That's what we were told.
All right.
Whether if that's truthful and there was, anyone else.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, from what we're aware of, at least.
Supposedly.
Okay. I suppose then we should head back up, right? Let's head out.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out of this hole.
I assume we go our way back.
Mhm.
Nope.
How do you make your way out of the hole?
Oh yeah, I can fly. I'm assuming Rhett still has the broom.
Yeah.
And does Hux ride on the nightmare with?
I think the nightmare flies.
Yeah, the nightmare flies, and I can take Hux with me, if Hux wants to do so.
And Groma will spider along
Yeah.
the edge. Basically.
Yes.
And grow with us.
Yes. And now it's just a matter of the maze has changed or not.
Also, the fucking thing that goes through planes is still alive.
Yeah, There's that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
You make your way up and out the deep cleft in the ground, past the layers of rock and cobble, and you find yourself back in the cavernous reaches of Tiki's Plaza. Where you left your apparatus of
It's a good vintage.
But it looks cool now.
Was it
Yes.
lunch or was it?
What? You have the event token as well?
Yes, I do.
There it is. There's my boy.
And Winona's up here, I think.
Yeah, why not? No, should be up here too.
Well, I don't have that one. Beautiful.
What's this thing?
That's the
This is cannon.
Oh, nice.
Prismatic dart cannon.
Ooh,
So fancy.
looks super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we should start heading out. Keeping an eye for things phasing through the ethereal plane.
Mm-hmm. I will keep the nightmare around for now. Could be helpful, I guess.
I think we came out of one of these halls originally. If I'm remembering it right.
It was
Or was-
this
Right
one.
at the top.
Oh, this one. Never mind. Sorry. I'm turned around. So yeah, we'll head back that way, I suppose.
Okay.
Are we bringing the apparatus?
I already have Winona and the Nightmare to to guide, so I guess.
I'll get it.
If you want to keep it, for me it's like a little like limiting for my movement. It's a limiting for my movement, so that's the thing.
He hates.
I don't see any place to plug in the amp. I need acoustics from this thing.
You need like a traveling stereo
Exactly.
inside. Play music as you go along.
Ooh, I can do this. I just flick the lights on and off and on and off. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to push that lever. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, all right. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Do you want me lead the way or someone else? I don't mind either way.
I think this thing should go in the back because it's wide and blocks everything.
Right.
So somebody else go in front.
Need someone to take you back in case the thing creeps from back around again.
Oh, it does always sneak up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that'd be good too.
Yeah.
I'll go in the middle.
I will stay behind Red and keep an eye
Oh no.
on behind us.
Just a couple of years.
Huxley, you go in front then, I guess.
And I will leave Winona in the middle somewhere.
Hmm.
There we go. That's the way we're going.
Even as you wander through the street that you had exited just earlier into the plaza, the street looks different.
Dang it.
Of course
To
it
your
does.
relief, the many half-sunken figures no longer reach their hands into the hallway, grasping for
Oh.
something. But the fact that they are absent also fills you with a similar kind of dread.
It's fine.
This is fine.
If this is this. Because I think based off of my notes, it would have been this, and then an intersection. Like a full intersection.
I don't think those notes are worth anything.
I know. You know what? I'm just trying to make sure. Look, it's an intersection. I was right.
Left or right?
Hold on, I had to. I think we originally came from the left.
Are there any ball bearings or something still left on the ground? Probably not, but
You do not see any
yeah.
more.
Dang it.
at least make sure. Yeah. Okay.
Look out for doors.
Okay, so this is in. We didn't have the warning zones last time, so this is different tunnel. It does seem like the path has changed from when we originally came.
Did you look in the door? There. Oh, I can't see it. Never mind.
Can I peek in the door?
You peer into the door and you find an empty room. One that looks remarkably unremarkable compared to at least everything else you've seen.
The worst kind of all.
Anything
We
overhead,
got-
Hux?
We got in here through the mines, right?
Yes.
Can I can use my timepiece of travel. Turn by turn directions, you can name any location within 10 miles. And it will tell me how to get there.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how this goes.
What exactly is the description of that? Does it state that it sort of, lays out the entire path for you, or is it similar to like I don't know.
Oh, that didn't. That's not the whole text. I sent it on Discord.
A disembodied voice.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. Doesn't help with the traps.
Especially since nobody else hears it. We're probably gonna think Hux is making things up again. Like hearing voices and whatnot. Yeah, there's this voice that tells me to go left. Alright, I guess.
mean, you gave him the timepiece.
Yeah, at the moment it simply compels you to continue on forward.
Go forward.
But there's no forward.
I mean, there's only really one path.
Oh, right.
this is not at all the same.
Mm-mm. Nope.
As you reach the crossroads and it does give up, the voice tells you to take the left.
Looks just confidently marches.
Right. Okay. How fast can Sarah put down map pieces?
As you reach the end of this very long tunnel-like street, it diverges in an odd pattern before you. So far, all the crossroads had been, well, crossed, but right in front of you, the street splits into two diagonal paths that soon after splitting return to their grid-like orientation. The only reason you can see for this odd split is the doorway in front of you at the center.
Well, this is obviously not the way we came. Even though that's been shifting up. A bit concerning.
The voice tells you to continue straight ahead.
Nothing opens the door.
Oh,
You
Hux,
take it away, you open the door. You just confidently walk up and just open the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
oh my god. Oh, it's terrifying.
A large hall opens before you. Even at a glance, it's filled with countless odd shapes. As you've come to expect, a warning stone is the first thing you see when into the room.
Is there... Hux, I don't think that's what we're, heading.
The voice continues to tell you to move forward.
So we have to go more through here.
I don't think we can even all fit through that door frame.
How stable do the walls look?
The stones are fairly thick, but they are no wider than 5 feet. You can see both sides of the stone walls. As stable as they've held throughout the years, a lot of force could definitely bring them down.
Maybe the paths go around, but they're like big rocks in the way.
I mean, is there an opening up there? Upward or something?
There's
It's
another
difficult for
door.
you to see all the way to the end of it. It's currently quite shrouded in darkness.
Why have we stopped moving? What's going on over there?
They Huxley opened a door and says we should go in. So
You can currently see from up here.
just go in, Huxley, and see if there's a way up. I don't know. Here, I'll come through with the light. I'll like turn the light on.
Okay, I have dark vision.
Huxley is
I maybe not step on this pattern.
previously the warning stones were red. Were you ever particularly close to them, or did you remember the pattern of inscriptions?
Probably not.
Okay. And as you walk past, it is only as Rance enters the room with the apparatus of Cornish that you notice something red.
Uh-huh.
As you enter, your eyes almost instinctively move past the stone at the entrance, knowing what the runes upon it would likely translate to. But as you almost go past them, you notice a difference in pattern. The inscription is shorter and repeats more often.
Hang on, this
Text,
says
while made of the same language, is different.
something. Hang on, this stupid thing. It says something different up here.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I'm translating.
I'm asking that here. I always forget that name. Gobo, Godo, Goro,
Gr-
Gomo,
Romo?
Gromo. Yeah.
You just ask him if it's good or bad?
Yeah, I'm just asking. What do you think?
I would not know. I have not been here before.
Inside, Soleil would think to himself,
Nice.
this one is almost as annoying as frickin' Vidar when it comes to uselessness in saying things.
What did you roll?
I don't think he was doing it inside. I think he was telling
Oh.
himself inside.
Yeah, inside myself, I'm telling myself that. I'm not.
You wanted to roll
No, I'm
inside.
not trying to roll inside. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking this person is just as useless as Vidar.
Nice.
I don't even want to talk to this person anymore.
You use comprehend
I
languages?
yes, I will use comprehend languages.
The inscription on this stone reads as follows. Copy paste this correctly. Okay, it does not penetrate. Don't ask me why. It reads, here where once was a place we tried to climb the ladder of gods. Rung by rung we found we left more of ourselves.
I read that out loud.
Huxley, as you continue walking past, you walk by few pillars that throughout the time have completely collapsed. The ceiling, despite the collapsed pillars, seems to be holding up regardless. Around the sides of the hall, you see more of these strange sculptures. On the right side, furthest from you, you see piles of the warning stones you've seen all over. To the left, however, you see a strange contraption, multiple that you've not seen so far before. They appear to be made out of some sort of metal with multiple struts sticking out of it.
There's some interesting. I say interesting carefully. Like technology in here. Maybe everybody should come in. Huxley, is this still the way to go? Is this the right way?
The voice compels you further forward.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
And
I'll
I
come.
think I see the
halfway
door.
down the hall, yes, you do see at the other side another door.
There's another door.
I guess we're gonna have to get bent through this door because there's another door on the other side.
Right.
I can, do the wind walk thing, but probably only he should transfer.
That makes sense.
I will cast wind walk. I'll cast it on everyone, but I'm not recommending you do that. So Vint would be a little cloud.
It does it instantly turn him into a cloud, or
It's a 1 minute.
okay.
Yes, it's a 1 minute.
So Vint will be a cloud, and we'll just hang out around us. Everyone wants to walk like a plebe.
Yeah. Well, actually, we have a spare mount, so you can have Winona.
Sure. Elwin will ride on Winona.
There you go.
I see this as well.
This is terrifying.
The largest shape in the room sits at the center, a large platform of grey rock and dark slate. From its sides burst a sculpture of flower petals and malformed humanoid shapes, with skulls in place of their heads. On top of
Nice.
this platform sits another warning stone, though it looks very little like any of the others, almost cubic in shape. It is missing the sharp edges and angles that the other stone play. Behind the first warning stone as well, now on the other side, you see an impossibly complex carving of stone, made of circles and bows, arches and struts that wind in and over themselves in this almost loop, in this endlessly repeating flow. Each of the individual patterns that you can sort of discern out of the set of the greater pattern seems to be almost triangular in nature.
For the purposes of ease of map, I'm gonna move. Is it alright if I move Vint off, but just presume he's like in
Yeah,
the same general
sure.
space as me? I do have detect magic up. Does anything within 30 feet flare?
Well, as you
Mhm.
wandered to about here,
Mhm.
you would pick up multiple
Hmm.
auras of magic, all emanating from these spheres.
Huh.
The
Every single one of them.
color of magic you get from almost all of them is school of illusion, this blind purple color. But towards the back, there is also a different glow. This sort of darker hue seems to intermix with some of the other glows.
Well, that's creepy.
Red,
Um,
lighting up the central stone, there is another inscription on a rock at the top.
Don't get out to go up to read that. Not get too close, but within.
Mm-hmm.
Who makes a statue like that?
Some sick persons.
The inscription reads, "We fueled our ambitious engines with those we left behind, and found we were alone at the top, a ladder that leads to no place."
Beggar, does True Sight reveal anything different than you? Like the ones right on the cusp of the. It's 15 feet, True Sight.
Your true sight would reveal that while you sort of sense this glow of illusion magic from these spheres, it appears to be innate with them. As you get close enough to see if they are an illusion, it would not appear so.
Maybe this is like a memorial to somebody they left behind?
Possibly. It just so everyone knows, these
Creepy.
things over here are magic in nature of some form.
Okay.
Most of them are an element of illusion magic. Except for something in the back, which I can't quite make out.
I'll come shine the light up.
Illusion magic. You think they're trying to hide something back there?
You shine a light across this pile of spheres, and yeah. Towards the back, you see that some of the spheres are more stacked across each other than near the front. All of them seem to be the same color, the same name. All of them seem to be made out of metal, forged into
Is-
this shape.
Is there any writing on them?
There is no inscriptions on
Maybe these are like the engines that the thing was talking about? I don't know.
Would be.
I'll get closer and look.
Do they look like any sort of a device with, like, at least from glancing at it, like with some sort of a triggering element to it, or just is there anything that can be made out? Like, hey, that very basic. Like, does that look like a lever? Does that look like a button? Does that look like something along
You
those
don't
lines?
really see any sort of ways of
Lever.
interacting with them.
Mm-hmm.
They do have this sort of flat surface at the very front, this almost circle where the sphere is flattened.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, of course, these struts poking on the side of the structure. There's nothing that looks like you could press or activate.
Are they purely circular, or are they like Iron Maiden like? For no better.
They are circular, spherical.
Okay.
The main body, at least.
I mean, we could have tried to identify one, but I don't even know if it's worth messing with.
Do you cast it or do you ritually cast it?
I'm talking to Evelyn right now.
No. I'm sorry.
I could do it really quickly. Just need to get close enough to touch it.
Well, it hasn't attacked me yet, so I'll touch it. It didn't do anything when I touched it. Yeah, I just touched it. I just gave it a quick little brush.
Where
See if it's
exactly
safe
do
enough.
you touch it?
On the flat circular part that you described in the front.
The second you touch
Hmm.
the circular part, Evelyn, you see magic acting. And Red, an image springs into existence. Right.
Holy
Uh,
shit!
Immediately makes you reel backwards and sort of crawl a little backwards on the floor.
Yeah.
Evelyn, your true sight reveals to you then this is an illusion. You
Bang!
see
Bang!
it's
the image
it's
of
not.
this thing flickering as you
Shoot at it.
several magical bullets into the wall behind you.
It's an illusion!
It's an illusion, right? It's
Yeah,
It's,
I'll just
not
test it
there.
out, for sure.
uh-huh.
I think we should leave these alone.
I'm so curious. It hasn't moved to attack, Rhett. Nothing along
No,
those lines,
it's
correct?
a still image.
Ellen's gonna hop off of Winona and move over to try.
Silas, can we get the nightmare over here in case one of those pops up?
Sure. I mean, if you want me to, I could check the other plane for a moment to see how it looks over there. Maybe
Oh,
that
yeah,
reveals
yeah.
something.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna reach out to touch it just enough to cast Identify.
The object appears to be magical in nature. It is almost more mechanical than magical in its construction. Almost as if it is designed to last a very, very long time. By touching the plate, you simply activate the internal trigger for this illusion map, which projects the image as you see. But there appears to be no other use to the sphere other than that.
It seems mostly like it's just made for casting and this illusion. That's all it's doing. It's not doing anything other than that. Just with the touch, it's going to do this.
I'm gonna try and travel to the ethereal plane for a moment there.
Okay. As you travel over to the ethereal plane, you see this bundle of blackened strings, almost half sunken into the ground, currently not moving. But the only thing that you do see in this room in the ethereal plane, aside from the shades of what you know to be your companion.
Alright, I will go back. I think the thing in the back is the real bad thing. It looks like it in the ethereal plane, kind of. The annoying one that's been following us.
Well, should we get it? Or like,
Evelyn has not seen it at anything for. It's always been further out for Evelyn, so like outside of her dark sight. She's only seen like a little bit of it lit up by Huxley. Is that correct? When she was in Elemental, I
Yes.
think. So this is probably the clearest image that she's seen of it.
Yes.
Is there anything that she's read about that would give any, like, does this ring any bells with anything, or is it something entirely different? Just visually.
Give me an arcana check.
Well, I glitched and I can't tell if it rolled. Okay. 19.
You would have never heard about anything like this in particular. Visually, it does remind you of what the description of a beholder is like, but it lacks the extra eye star. The tentacles that you see almost end in this sort of faded, wispy sort of fashion, almost ending incorporeally. But you've never heard specifically of anything like, as much as it is, you know, this darkened shape, as much as it might evoke resemblances to the blind, it does not appear close enough. It almost seems too organic in that sense to be of the blind.
Mhm.
I'm just making my way over by Soleil in case we decide to go through.
Is this like a pillar broken down? Like,
Yes.
let's, okay. Is it, yeah, okay.
So do we want to engage the thing? Why are you getting closer?
I'm just moving. She's just glancing around. She hasn't actually moved closer from as far as she can see.
Yeah, from
She-
your detect magic, you sense through the
Right.
glow
So she's
of illusion, a definite sense of necrotic energy.
she's
from one of
currently
the spheres
resisting
in
the urge to move forward to be able to see it with her true sight. But she's like leaning as much as she can, but she's not within range of true sight. But since she knows, it,
It's in the ethereal plane anyway. Right? I mean, right, sorry. Silas, like,
Yeah. Right now it is.
so if you want to look at it, Evelyn, what do you like? Come over here and we all go.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. I don't need to be in the ethereal plane to see it if I get just a little bit closer.
But yeah, getting closer also feels like more dangerous.
Yeah.
That
The-
thing
the
has like
metal for these
tentacles that
things
are
are-
pretty long, you know.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you make a good point. We're already too close. But it's not attacking us, which is weird.
Maybe it's
I don't
hiding.
know.
It's thinks it's gonna ambush us because it thinks we don't know it's there.
I don't.
Maybe it's
Did it
stupid.
notice you when you moved to the ethereal plane?
That didn't seem like it, right? Did it like make any movements that it noticed me?
It did not respond as you shifted into the ethereal plane. At least it didn't look. It remained relatively still.
Yeah, didn't really show any kind of reaction to me being there. I mean, it only has one eye. Maybe it's short-sighted or something.
Possibly. The metal that these things are made out of, these strange objects, is it a normal metal that we would recognize, or is it something different? Because I know you mentioned that it seems like they're created to withstand like a long time. Does it seem like just more, that's more magical in nature of how it was crafted, or is it just,
You don't get a strong magical feel from the metal. If there is magic to the metal, then it's likely drowned out by the aura of the illusion magic inside.
Mm. Does it
If
seem
you
like a
wanted
metal
to
that...
further
Mhm.
investigate the metal, you'd probably have to, actively analyze.
Mm.
It is of a similar shade that you've seen some metals before, or some alloys. It could also be simply steel that's been sort of blackened outside to take on this darker shade, but you're not entirely sure until you test.
Is the illusion just continuing to hang out?
Mm-hmm.
He is sort of animal-like. Maybe.
Is it possible to see if...
It clearly doesn't like me, but maybe someone who's good with animals could approach it, and then you could get a better look.
I mean,
I
if
was
it's
also
I'm just
curious
against-
about... No, I understand. I'm also curious about the other things here. Do they all give off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
sure.
image?
Sure. I'm just figuring we should, see what the thing is up to first before we do that.
It's fair.
How do you think it's an actual animal?
I don't know. It doesn't look like the blight now that I'm like looking at it a lot. But like,
I mean, I can
It's
kind of... If it's an
organic,
animal, I can talk to it, but...
yeah, maybe you, Huxley. See what it's up to. I don't know.
If one of you walk right in front of me,
Yeah, exactly. Just you get close to it, and then Evelyn can be right behind you, and I can be.
then I can see if that causes an issue being right a little bit closer or not.
Actually, I'm looking again. I'm gonna be behind you, like ready to pull you back away.
Did it move away? We don't
No.
know.
Looking at the spheres below.
I see, I see.
Just to tell range.
But it was still something. Was it? Where is the detect magic specifically? Is it on that one? Okay. Fine.
All right, we're ready. You two go ahead.
I just need to get like right here. Just need to, not that one. Right here.
I guess Hux is hopping on the nightmare.
Alright. I guess it's easier to switch over and then talk to it. Let's try. Switch into the ethereal plane.
I can still see them in the ethereal plane at this distance.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see what happens.
You can speak with animals.
Hello there. Can you understand me?
There is no response.
Hello.
This is negotiation.
I'm not entirely positive what they're doing. They're just kind of haven't moved from the spot that they're in.
I'm sure one of them will get impatient and try to ride it shortly.
Sadly
We're supposed to keep
accurate.
closer to it.
Well, you don't have to. Evelyn's just like, I don't know what they're doing because she can't hear you. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying they're just standing there.
Hux, you any tricks up your sleeve for this kind of situation?
Hux has moved forward.
Hello.
Regular talking, of course.
Could you please stay close to the nightmare, just in case?
As you step closer, you see this mass of tentacles that sort of furled up start to slowly unfurl.
I think it has noticed me.
Hux is standing there and seems
I
fine.
think it's close
sorry,
enough.
if I move. Oh, Hux moved back a bit. But they haven't come back, so that's a good sign, right?
Does it stop moving when Hux like retreats a little bit?
I
You see
don't
sort
know.
of coiling over each other. And as Hug steps backwards, it slows down and stops.
Hux, wanna tell the others first before we do something else?
Yeah.
Alright, switching planes again.
And you're back.
Hello, it didn't like respond, but as soon as Hux got closer, the tentacles started moving, and when Hux retreated, the tentacles stopped moving again. It's almost like it's like being activated by us being close to it or something.
But
Maybe
Hux
it's
was able to be there for a moment, right?
Yeah.
maybe it's healing because we heard it earlier.
So just if I move ever so slightly forward and then very quickly back, just to catch a glimpse of it.
Again, why don't you just go to the ethereal plane?
Well,
You can look at it from here.
judging by its reaction right now from Hux, you could do that, yes.
Whatever. And then
Oh
one
my
step
gosh.
forward. And step forward.
As you look through your true sight in
Mm-hmm.
addition to your detect magic, the sphere that is in this corner still gives off this distinct glow of illusion magic. The necrotic energy that you see sort of clinging to the form of the actual thing appears to almost be coiled around it. The creature as you see it is entirely coiled around this sphere. Almost as if it's holding on to it. But it does not appear to be part of it in any significant way.
It's more like wrapped around it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say this looks like an eye?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for a brief moment as I stand there, telepathically, reaching out, what are you? To see if I get a response.
Can you give me an intelligence saving
We are what's been left behind. Just kidding, I don't know what it does.
We are a ladder.
We are Legion.
That would be 25. Oh dear.
Oh.
Baby.
You take 19 points of psychic damage. In response, you are hit with a wave of what you can only describe as screeching in a language you do not understand. There is pain in that screech and fear. You immediately break off the connection as soon as that wave sort of hits. It's not unlike the effect of a psychic scream.
And looking at it with true sight, it does seem like it is still the same shape, correct? Okay. And is it reaching out with its tendrils, or keeping
Not
them
currently.
like?
They are
not
currently
currently.
very tightly wrapped around the
It's not moving. It's just holding on to the sphere in the back, which I think is like the same spheres that are here.
Okay. So what's it like? What's his deal?
I can attempt to communicate with it, but I'd probably have to first see if I could maybe do something like comprehend languages
Oh,
to see if I could.
yeah.
So I can attempt to that.
What
So since
did it
nobody's-
try to communicate?
No, it's just sitting there. But I could attempt to see if I could communicate with it.
Yeah, I think you can just take this mask and do it. You don't have to tune to it.
Which mask?
Here, the one that I'm wearing that lets me read and comprehend languages. I
Does
have
it
an
read
item.
or speak?
I am trying to find out.
Because I can cast it if needed.
I believe comprehend languages is
Is it the
you
helmet?
understand it and you can read it, but you can't speak it.
Yeah. Right. I don't know what my actual
Yes.
item is though.
I believe it is the same as the helmet.
Oh gosh.
comprehend
Oh,
language.
okay. So that probably would suck. But that probably wouldn't work because the telepathic link that I have, to understand each other, you must each speak mentally in a language you share. So comprehend language would only allow me to. Would that work or not? I'd be able to understand them. They can understand me
Probably.
potentially.
Guess
Would
he's
that-
the most likely.
Okay.
I mean, we'd have to try it.
Much
but-
like if you were to speak, you're unsure whether or not it will be able to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is simply another language, you would be able to understand it.
Okay. Then, yeah. Does the the mask that you have, would that essentially be the same as casting comprehend language?
Yes, you can do it at will. Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what it is.
All right. Then I will borrow the mask briefly and cast comprehend language with that, and then attempt to telepathically connect again, kind of mentally bracing herself this time, and just
You give me another intelligence save.
just this time all she's doing is reaching out and saying, "Hello," knowing that there's a high chance that there's no understanding. Let's go. So that's a 23.
You brace for the impact of the scream. And you take 26 points of psychic damage. As again this screech washes over you.
Ow.
Even as you can almost make out the words, you realize that it's not even really speaking. It's this garbled mess of words, and before you even manage to discern one of them, there are already 10 others it has screeched at you in the meantime. Whatever this mind is appears to be broken in a sense. It does not appear like it's really able to communicate. And again, you are hit with this wave of
Yeah,
negative emotion.
more painful than the last one. Rude.
Maybe it is
I also
actually the
kind of
ones
like-
they left behind.
Yeah, I know. And we'll kind of like finish the picture. And as if like a wind's kind of. Has it changed its. Like, has it changed its positioning, or it's still kind of just wrapped up
You
around
would see it almost coil a little bit more tightly around the sphere.
that? Right, so, not a great idea.
Oh,
You look
It's
terrible.
just a
What
lot of
happened?
Screaming,
Oh.
pain, agony, multiple voices all at once. Can't really make anything else. It's very animalistic in that sense. Something that's just broken.
like, huh?
But
You
still,
have sustained some wound.
um,
I do not think this course of action is a smart idea.
To be fair, she hasn't been known to only make smart decisions.
I did come along to protect you, but I cannot protect you from yourself.
That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say to her basically all the time.
Yeah, we often all say that. Thank you for making the point. Welcome to the group.
Now you've officially become a member of the troop. Welcome.
Okay, so
right.
It's-
So this is wonderful.
sorry, Evelyn, we're talking about.
Why she's right there.
Okay, but it's like you got a broken. Okay, is it when it tried to steal my future? It was like a curse. Is it itself cursed? Do you think? Does that make sense as a question? Like this thing looks okay. It seems like it's scared and it's grabbing that thing.
It is definitely wrapped around it. Not. It seems potentially scared or just very feral, backed into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've met living spells. Could be a living curse. If that's possible, I don't
That's
know.
what I'm wondering. Or like something that has been. Is that a reasonable theory?
It's not a, all things considered, not a horrible theory. It'd be really difficult to find that out.
Can you roll me an arcana?
Or nope. That's a dirty 20.
Well,
Much like what you've said yourself, you would be fairly certain that the question whether or not it's cursed itself is incredibly open and vague. It could be any number of things in terms of a ghost, a spirit, an undead that could have been created by a curse, but the field of classifications in that area is so wide and undefined.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be difficult to pin down, or even if you do pin it down, it'd be difficult to gain any sort of deeper understanding of it as a result.
Here's my thing, right? We could try to like remove its curse, and if that doesn't work, just try to get rid of it. I just feel better like if we knew it wasn't chasing us the rest of the way, however far the rest of the way is.
Right. It's possible it's gaining something from these illusions here.
Right. Yeah.
Which I won't, but someone could attempt to activate another one to see if it casts the same illusion.
Or that specific one if there's something unique about that one.
Right. We don't need to touch the one that it's on, but to see, for example, this one over here to my left, does it cast the same illusion as the first one was activated?
Yeah.
I think that it might remain here, but we won't know that. And to try and remove the curse, I think you'd just be destroying whatever it is. So I think your question is one and the same. Of if you either remove the curse or try and get rid of it, I think you'll end up with the same sort of result.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yes, I can. Okay, if you're okay with that, why don't you step back? I'll
Go
check
back
this
up.
one. I'll like touch this one to see if the illusion pops up. On this one.
Ellen made every effort to make sure everyone else is okay.
The light flickers into
I'm just making 2 steps back.
a exact copy of the first image.
Yeah.
Looking.
Interesting. If I touch it again, does it turn off?
It does.
Yeah, well, that's nice. I'm gonna turn this one off too. Would everyone
The
be
only way
okay?
to really
Sorry, go
take care of it would be to, I imagine, combat it on the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
Or
well,
both.
that's what I was about to ask Soleil if everyone's okay with it. I can try casting a restoration, removal of the curse on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure that is a prudent action?
You may be able to just leave it where it's at, and it might just stay here.
We have faced it before and defeated it multiple times.
Yes. That's why I think it's prudent enough to try it. Look, if the curse that it put on me had stayed, I feel like it would have been really bad and permanent. So I'm just like, on the off chance that we can,
If
you know, see
if it
what's
had,
up.
if it your casting of a spell doesn't work and we do have to combat it again, and
We know we can't.
right, but if it casts
Hmm.
a curse on several individuals, are you able to remove the curse multiple times?
I can remove. Looks like I've got. Just like sorting through my diamond pouch. I can do it like 5 more times.
If
Should be
you
fine.
are
Casual
able to
diamond pouch.
lift its curse, what do you expect as an outcome?
Knowledge, information, maybe something about you. Who knows?
I can speak from my own experience that a mind left in anguish for a long time rarely ever returns to its original state. How old would you guess this city is? How long do you think this thing has been here?
I don't know, and I don't really care. So, are you arguing that it's better that we just leave it in pain? Nah, okay. I mean, that's an argument, I guess.
I think either way, whether or not you are successful or not, through action here, we will destroy it.
Sounds good to me. Does that sound good to everybody else? Like, if it is some cursed thing, at least we'll let it go from its terrible curse. And if it's just evil, well, it'll be gone. So,
My only concern is that in the times that we've encountered it, we've only seen potentially one element of a curse. We don't know if that's the only element of a curse that it has.
true.
We've come across other things that have multiple variations of curses, similar to the blight or something like that.
True.
And there is an unknown element here that we might be taking on an unneeded risk. That, for example, if you are cursed with something, no one else here is completely makes you incapable of being able to remove the curse, then no one else can do that.
Why do you guys think it
That's what I
chased
meant.
us before and now doesn't do anything anymore?
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested about. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care about this thing. I just want to make sure it doesn't chase us anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, this is my point. Yes, I agree with you.
What if it is not the only one?
Could be that there are multiple. True, that this is out of commission because it's been like its brain has been fried too much, and yeah, and the other one is still like
Machine.
Yeah.
These illusions. They were likely created by those who once built this city. That means even then they knew of these things. Perhaps. Why create these apparatuses?
That's a great question.
defense mechanism.
I mean, they'd be spread out if they were.
It's possible that they're attracted to them. If you can, like the one back here is fully wrapped around it, it's possible that if they left these contraptions around in various places, they could essentially hold or contain or capture them briefly, keep them from wandering freely. If they're a whole group of them, creatures like this down here.
I don't know. I just
It
wanna
might
try
Out
this
of
out.
out of character, for a moment. Have you ever played Portal?
Mm,
I feel like these might be like the frickin' self-conscious,
Yeah.
self-shooting thingies that are fabricated, and the broken ones are being tossed away into a corner, and these are basically the broken ones, and
yeah, maybe.
functioning ones are still out there, or something like that.
So this
That's what I feel like
yeah.
at the moment. That this is just like the trash yard for broken thingies. Because the last one had also an illusion, right? Even the one with the actual
Sort of.
thing. Had
You
also
mean the
illu-
one you faced in the hallway and such?
No, the one in the back here, which is the actual which we feel like is the actual thing, still
So
has the illusion thingy
It
on
has
it,
the
right?
illusion on it,
Yeah.
but Evelyn stated that, or if she isn't, she would explain that it looks like this is a creature that's wrapped around the object, that
okay.
it's not part of the object,
I see.
and it's holding on to the illusioned item, thing, machine.
Look, just let me attempt it. We can run. We've it's not gonna get me more than it got me already. It's gonna be fine.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
And then we'll back up.
Brett's also just like, do these things. I want it to give me a reason to just destroy it, basically. And if I happen to help it, that's great. All right, take us up there, Soleil. Real quick.
All right,
Or I can do it.
let's go.
Let's
How
do
many
it.
people can you,
I think it
Make
was
the decision.
3. Checking
So
it
that
real
you
quick. Yeah, it's
reckon,
and up to 3 willing creatures. Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
All right. Go through.
Let's go.
Okay, you guys just come with me, or we'll stay back here. It's up to you. I do need to get close enough to actually hang out. No, not that. We're good. We're good from here. Because I know this cool thing called distance spell, where a touch spell can be cast at 30 feet.
I don't know what you're talking about because I don't magic things, but that sounds cool.
That's okay. So I'm going to distance spell Greater Restoration on it, and yeah, see what happens.
Hold on a second. You cast Greater Restoration at a distance. And as the spell sort of reaches out, trying to find something to latch onto, it fails.
That did literally nothing.
And from a distance you see as it almost winds a little bit closer together, it starts slowly unwinding.
Might as well back up, I suppose.
You remain in the ethereal plane?
I mean, at least a couple seconds to see if it's
Yeah, okay.
if it still unfurls.
It unwinds until the point that you see it eye almost half peeking over something that it is holding. In the ethereal plane, you can't really see what it is holding. It is a formless shape, but as you've heard from Evelyn, it's likely a sphere. You see its eye moving, and for a moment it falls on you. And as it observes you, it stops moving.
I want to do my best hand signals to everyone beside us to be like, wavy arms, looking, stopped. And then dunno, hands.
They did back up.
Actually, no, I'm
Swords
just gonna
begin
like,
to grumble.
hold on, hang on. I can look Evelyn in the eye, because she can see me.
True. Yep.
Yes!
Fair.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I'll activate Pelican
So I'll just tell you what it is.
telepathy. Right then, if it's hasn't moved to attack, then maybe come back.
Yeah, I guess we ought to just get out of here. I don't know.
Shroomp back.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
live and
you
learn.
switch out of the ethereal plane, you can't see it anymore. You are no longer aware of what it's doing.
Well,
Look, Hux, where was the voice again telling you to go?
Yeah, we might as well just,
Point to the door.
I feel like this is a little bit pointless.
I
yeah.
can lean towards the back this time and make sure it's not following us at least that much. I can keep an eye out for.
Sure. Think that I did. You just stand there, look at me this time, okay?
Probably could be at the elevator already. We had just moved.
This doesn't trigger anything
At
with.
the end of the hall,
Yeah.
you see that another stone stands in you. Shaped into a smooth, round, and polished spiral, it only contains one line, following along the spiral. A sentence which, unlike all other inscriptions, does not repeat. It's not written in the same clear and sharp signs either. It almost looks like it was carved by hand. And the tone in it is also less formal, less poetic. And it simply reads as follows.
Well, good. I'm glad the restoration didn't work. Fine. Let's go.
Yeah, let's move on.
Assuming Tux leaves and opens the door. Into the hallway beyond.
You guys ever feel like the more you learn, the less you know? Oh, sweet. Okay.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's my point. But okay.
As you leave the room, do you have wind thrown back up, or do you?
I'm just gonna have him keep him
Okay.
as a cloud for the time being in case we come across another room that is not like, oh hey, now we're stuck again. So for the time being, I'll keep him as a cloud. And following around us.
You are fairly glad that you keep him as a cloud as you follow Hux, because as you continue down the corridor, it remains a corridor. Almost like an impossibly long street. It just leads you along a straight path home. And Silas is
Poor Silas.
No, whatever, he got dropped in the room.
he's one of them.
For thing, Edwin is keeping an eye out behind them to make sure that the thing isn't. I mean, it would have to get pretty close somewhere at least, but for if it's in the ethereal plane, she could see it within 15 feet. Otherwise, she's just
You
keeping an
watch
eye out.
behind you, within the range of your detect magic and your true sight. During the time you wander down the street, there is nothing.
Okay.
But out of your general view of the darkness behind you, every now and then you are not quite sure if there is movement. And as
You
the
did it.
street comes to an end, you are back where you started.
Looks really proud of himself.
I'm glad we hired you as a guide, Hux.
Nice work, Hux.
Surprisingly effective.
What do you mean? Hux has been like very good at like leading us underground somewhere, you know? It
Yeah.
has been like their thing.
Yeah.
Specialty.
Believe we can go up the tunnel and to the mines. Listen.
You make your way back the tunnel, and to your genuine relief, it looks exactly the same as when you made your path through it the first. Quickly you arrive at the chain that would carry you back up, and you ascend back towards the city. Leaving behind the city under the city. As the chain lift comes to a rattling halt, and you open the doors of the small shed that houses it, you return to the streets of the lower district.
Are we still within the 8 hours of winter walk? I would assume.
Yeah, we can.
And
Except for freaking.
Oh, I was gonna say, but for the sake of it, shoot, I'm gonna go
Oh.
ahead and tell Vin to return to the mansion as a cloud, and then once he's back in the workshop, take his form again.
Okay.
Make it a little easier, traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. makes
As
sense.
always, as you enter into the streets of the lower district, the lower district is in shadow, and the street lamps illuminate the large portion of the street. Curiously, though, even though you entered Chainlift and went down several hours ago, it appears to be still somewhat close to noon. Outside of the city, as far at least as you can see, past the plate of the district above, you see sunlight in the far reaches of the lower district.
Are you saying not as much time has passed that should have passed?
It feels slightly so. Not to a noticeable and extreme degree, but slightly.
Well, that's special.
Aren't you glad that we're sleeping at night with that thing below us?
I suspect it's probably more to do with the labyrinth that we're going through. Maybe isn't entirely. It could be partially in a different plane or have altering magics of some sort on it. Less so the creature, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I meant the city. The
Right,
city.
right,
Yes,
yeah.
right. That's in general.
I mean, they just set it on the stones. It's not a place.
Yeah, yep, I guess so.
If you travel far enough in any direction, you will find things. You've
Right.
made it back to the surface unharmed. So here I will take my leave.
Thank
I'm sure our paths will cross many times. And I will see you then.
Until then, thank you again for your assistance.
Are we going to Badar or is he coming to us?
It might be easier to at least bring the apparatus and
Oh,
things
yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
to the mansion prior to going to the upper
sure.
district, if that's where we're going. Or we could send a message to Bedora and see when he's available to meet next and save a trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's head back there first. Either way. So that's where
You make your way back to Quartermains for the time being. Of course, nothing out of the ordinary happens on your way there.
Well, when you say it like that, then I feel like
Nothing
something
ever
happened.
happens on your way home.
I feel like everything happens on our way home.
Yeah.
When has there ever been anything out of the ordinary?
Remember the time when we got home and there were people throwing power word kills everywhere? I remember that time.
And I would say, as you make your way back, let's take a 5-10 minute break. And I
Sounds
will
good.
go to the toilet and refill my water. I will be right back.
Same.
Alrighty.
Continue. You've made your way back to Quartermain, where Vint would already be waiting in the workshop.
All right, good. Okay, so what about what Creon told us? Don't you. I mean, we're gonna go sleep it out in a bit about the other stuff, but it was something Grandma didn't. You didn't want Grandma to hear.
Uh-huh.
So was it anything helpful?
I'm not sure about that, actually.
Okay.
Looks at Ablin intensely.
Eowyn will go ahead and make a telepathic connection. Is there a problem?
I'm not sure yet.
I trust your judgment, so you can say or not say whatever you want. I trust you.
Alright, I will tell you guys. If, especially a certain someone makes a promise that whatever we're gonna do is gonna be like we're doing together and not like something in the middle of the night to try stuff out, okay?
You just said this all out loud.
Yeah, I'm saying that out loud.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, because it's been the following, and I'm just saying everything I remember. Try to quote it as best as I can, what he said about, like, stabbity stab would be solving our problems.
Or if she prefers her own methods, or whatever. Rude.
So I don't know what to think of that.
Do you tell us a little bit about dirt being the answer to the last riddle and the last wizard that ever lived?
I will try to tell everything I remember about this
Amazing.
scene.
Okay.
Ah, of course, dirt.
It's fairly recent enough that you would be able to recall.
Is it written down somewhere?
It's in the lore channel.
Yeah.
I believe the important part is, but not the around things with the dirt.
No,
the
the dirt's
one
there
line.
too.
The dirt
Sorry.
part is in
Yeah.
there? Okay. No,
Yeah.
no, the dirt part is in there.
Mhm.
It's now important.
Them's the rules.
But there's still wizards alive.
So if we kill all the wizards, the last one is going to ask us a riddle and the answer is dirt. And then we'll kill her.
Oh, but the riddle kills the wizard.
The answer to the riddle.
Oh, I got it. Huxley, you're gonna drop dirt on her.
How's that a riddle?
I don't know, but whatever.
Well, if there was someone I would trust would be the one to eliminate every last wizard, it would be you, Hux.
Yeah.
That being said, I think we need to take everything with a grain of salt. We don't really know much about this individual that is telling us this, other than they like to be cryptic and...
And that sounds like an
Difficult.
incredibly bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, why would he say that? And like, you've seen this guy before as well, yourself, Evelyn, right? Or something?
I have suspicions that the individual that I've seen is the same that Silas has seen, but last time he couldn't remember what he looked like. Can you this time?
Oh, yeah.
Can I?
Can you make me a history?
Guys, I'm gonna tell you now. Probably not. It's a straight roll. It's an 11.
Could be worse.
Could be better, could be worse.
You could describe him. You could not confidently say you would be able to catch him.
Yeah, I can give you the basic looks of him.
Based off of what he describes, it sounds like it could be the same person, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume it's the same individual. The one that...
Especially as he describes his somewhat monochrome look.
Mhm. It certainly would lead me to believe, all things considered, that this is the same individual that I've seen before. I'm really not a large fan of. They seem to pick and choose what information they want to provide with extensive conditions that need to be met and requirements.
Yeah, for once we are on the same page on this one.
I presume, like most beings of some sort of that magnitude, they all have some form of alternative goal, which could be, in this individual's beings, they might want to see the end of that many people.
Yeah.
Which we don't know, so it's would be foolhardy to take any action based off of simply their words. At least in my opinion.
I wonder how many times has it been? It's been, what, 3 times that this has happened?
And what has happened?
There has been 3 moments of this occurrence. Once at the time of the wish and twice at my death.
Right. Okay. And as far as we knew, the things came in 3s. The Jinn's wishes. He granted 3. All the legends say genies grant 3 wishes. I'm trying to see. Is that like? I'm at least trying to gain some insight from this guy's words.
Because last time, I mean, he gave me the exact location from Lorana, so
Yeah.
he actually gave me the correct answer. And I don't feel like in this weird twisted mind, I don't think he would just lie, you know? He would maybe disguise his words to make them sound that there's a little bit of a different sense behind them, but I don't feel like this person is someone who would just do not say the truth, you know? Doesn't seem to be his style.
Not said anything that isn't the truth.
Yeah.
He simply stated that I would come to no harm, which is a truth that has been true in each of these events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even existentially might be. We don't know what that means. Really. Okay, the point I was getting at, though, is if this were the 3rd time, all 3... I don't know if the wish that you asked for was granted in perpetuity, is what I'm getting at. And maybe his words reveal that to us. Does that make sense? Like, the genie might be granting you 3 instances of this wish being true.
There's potential for that, I suppose. It would be in a not direct... It would be unknown limitations around the wish. It wasn't tied to any wording of the wish that I received.
Oh, right. but like someone will be there and he knows. Like I think that someone's the jump. That's my guess. Does that kind of make sense to anyone else?
Still, we're potentially
Kinda.
risking a
Yeah.
No,
large
yeah.
amount of.
Yeah. I'm not saying this is a good idea, but I'm like
No,
trying to gain
agreed.
some
Yeah.
information
I-
from this.
It is possible that the next time could be the last time.
Or there's some type of like pre-negotiate. Like I don't know.
But yeah, let's say it is the last time. Those people still won't come back to life, you know? Why would we... like, if we killed you, like, even if the wishes would stop from then on, like, there's still, like, a couple million more dead people, right?
Presumably.
The ones
Well,
that
that's what
are
I'm
asleep
confused
right
on.
now. Yeah.
The way you described it, and like you ask him how to undo this, which, right?
It depends on what part you're undoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's simply the reoccurring aspect of it, that
Right.
wouldn't stop anything that's already happened.
No, sure.
Also the funny part. She won't even come to harm. Yet. But again. Yet.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm also confused about. Is it like we're calling his bluff, and after 3 instances of suffering, the suffering ends? For the other, like, I don't even know. I don't like this god.
Hey, makes 3 of us. Hux probably doesn't like him too, because he's a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
He sounds
I
annoying.
assume he would run from you, Hux.
He sounds like he would.
Technically has already once run from some of us.
Yeah.
And he continues to run from Silas in his own way by disappearing.
Yeah. Even his freaking library is basically on the run all the time. Pops up in different places. Looks different every time. Maybe he's like the source of all the wizard running.
Perhaps.
The origin.
You eliminate him, you eliminate the wizards.
Or at least them running away.
I had to quickly go back and double check what the actual question was.
I have no idea either what I asked. Probably not the perfect question.
Okay. So, interesting.
Which, like,
Yeah.
that sounds like...
Which Silas would remember,
Yeah.
because in session it's not been
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Like, millions of people dying is not a fix of our mistakes. That just doesn't make any sense.
Agreed. That doesn't add up.
Ah, hey. Well, it's not like waiting another day and thinking about it more is going to hurt us. Or anyone just sleeping too much.
8.
Maybe he meant that we need to bury Evan in the dirt, and then the new life will grow out of like a tree.
Oh!
I'd rather not turn into a tree. That's not really my thing. I know you have an affinity for trees, Hux, but I'm not really fond of them in the sense of wanting to have one grow from me.
I'm just trying to understand what this wizard guy meant.
Sure.
Hmm.
Like dirt and death.
It could. I mean,
Yes.
it could be the answer of dirt in the sense of death, being that the grave along those lines. But
Because if something dies, then it becomes something new, and that's the cycle of life.
Also, I wonder, like, I know we will never figure out what it is, but there are some parts of that answer where I don't know who he's referring to. Who's she? Who's he? Like, he mentions people that I don't feel like are meant to be Ablin all the time.
No,
Like,
I
you'll
think-
never meet her, or he knows this as well as I, and now you. Like,
Yeah, the he, I think, is the John. John knows, like, the conditions
uh-huh.
of his own deal. We don't know all the conditions, clearly.
And then who's the someone? Someone will be there.
Well, someone in here, the same person, right? Someone will be there he knows.
could be, yes.
And
Like,
who's
I
the
think
one I will
also-
never meet?
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to draft a quick memo to send to the door to let him know we returned
Yeah.
and see when he wants to discuss things further.
Okay.
And at least we can start with that. So I'm just gonna pull out a note and start kind of drafting a quick letter to send to Vidar, letting him know that they are back. She's just gonna say simply, "We're back from the city. When is the most convenient time to discuss things further?" Something along those lines. And she'll go find a runner to deliver it to him.
Mm-hmm. The runner would probably need an hour or so just to deliver the
Mm-hmm,
letter. Is there anything you would do during that time?
I will take a bath because I've been swallowed by a purple worm.
Nice.
Amazing.
I
You
want to
know,
talk to Reginald a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Emlyn is gonna head to her room and try and work on some additional theories or methods of keeping herself alive.
That's what you've been doing the entire campaign.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's continuing to do so. Now in a more temporary mindset of what's something to do to keep her from dying temporarily, or make it more difficult for her to die.
Is Reginald in the study?
Yes. He would be currently there.
Hi, Reginald. You Have you ever met someone by the name of Creon?
Creon. No, that name does not ring a bell. Why?
I read some of your old research
Oh,
about
Where did I?
observing the unobservable. Well, you left it in a library in the old Archaeons, the floating wizard place.
oh, yeah. Have I told you about that?
Not really.
Oh, well, you see, not so long ago, there used to be a quite prestigious academy in
Oh, yeah. You told us about that part. Yes.
Oh,
I was more
it's-
curious about the actual observing the unobservable, in the sense that I just got this retribution. And I like reached behind the couch where I wasn't looking and pull out retribution.
Seems like a... Oh, then do we have a rat problem? Should I tell Aelith to take care of that?
No. This guy's gonna disappear as soon as we don't look at it, because he's an unobservable observer.
Oh, forgive me, dear friend, but what you're saying is preposterous.
I thought that
Something were
myself.
Unobservable, then how are we observing? And that does not make any sense.
Okay, I just want to get your thoughts on it. You
Oh,
don't think it
well,
makes sense either.
Suppose in terms of observing something, there's various degrees. One can see something, feel something. In a way, thinking of something is an observation of itself, but more so of the thoughts of something than of the thing itself. If something were unobservable, it would be invisible and impossible to find with any tactile sense, I suppose. In that way, one could be unobservable. Even if you stipulate something like vanishing into a different plane or a subplane like the ethereal, they would certainly be still observable by some methods.
What if said individual was outside of time?
Well, hardly anything outside of time, I'd imagine. It's one of
Okay,
the
hardly
fundamental
any.
forces of everything, such as gravity would be. Now, certainly with magic, one can manipulate or alter gravity, but the force itself is persistent for all things. Such the same could be said with time. Even if you were to halt time or make it and move backwards, time would still be there.
Could time be an observer?
Well, you're talking about a concept being an active entity. That would not make any particular sense, I don't think.
Well, we can observe the passage of time, but it.
Well, we can certainly observe the effects of entropy, which is directly correlating through time, but time is simply what we call the flow of causality, really.
Yeah, there's that word causality. Interesting. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere, but we're probably gonna go on for a while like this. There's just been like so many things
Reggie,
going around.
He seems almost intrigued by the subject. He's certainly engaged in the conversation, which often when you talk to Reginald, you notice him sort of going to different subjects and forgetting what he was talking about, whereas he does avidly keep talking about the same subject in this case. But he appears to not know anything about it from the standpoint that you might expect.
So he stays on topic now.
He does stay on top of it.
Amazing. We learned something.
But I don't get any new insights or ideas.
No.
You do about Reginald.
Oh yes, yes, I observed something about the observer. Ah.
Nice.
I suppose that's somewhat helpful. Okay. I think we could probably have this existential conversation for as long as, you know.
About an hour or so passes before, Evelyn, you feel that pressure building at the back of your mind of a sending.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear Vidar echoing in the back of your mind. If you've returned, meet me at your earliest convenience. And that's all.
Then she'll just say, we've returned. You should expect us soon then. And then she'll work on going to gather everyone. So she'll go and lazily kind of walk around. She's not making massive efforts to like track everyone down because she's just a lazy individual in general. So she's like, if they're not where I expect them to be, she'll check people's rooms. And then she'll head downstairs. So I don't know if Silas would still be.
Yeah, I mean, you find him in his room and he's still drying off his fur. It's quite a hassle after a bath.
So she'd like knock on the door lightly and
Yeah, he opens and he looks, I mean, you've seen him when he gets wet and he looks kinda not that impressive anymore when he gets wet. It looks a little bit pathetic.
I got a message from Vidar. He said if we're available to meet at our earliest convenience, that would be great. So I was thinking of heading up to the upper district.
So I take that as a now.
After I gather everyone.
All
You
right.
can finish drying off.
I'll be there in a couple of minutes.
I'll see you then. And she'll make her way around. Sorry.
Okay. It would take
We'll
you.
head downstairs. Sorry, I think I'm really hearing really close gunshots, but it's probably just neighbor shooting or something.
Okay.
Well, mind you, we're in
Yeah, yeah.
Virginia,
no,
where they just shoot guns for
yeah.
fun.
I mean, we did. Okay, never mind. Anyway, it would take you a couple minutes to gather everyone together. You'd probably still find Red talking to Reginald in the common room as well.
Oh, we need to go.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's
I
alright.
received a message from Vidar that he'd be available to meet with us.
Great.
Oh, not a problem.
We'll pick this up later, maybe.
Fine fellow, but a colleague nonetheless. Who sent him my regards?
Sure. I just had a very long on-topic conversation with Reginald.
On topic.
Yes. On the subject of observing unobservable observers. And the concept of time as an observer.
And he stayed on topic.
And he stayed on topic the whole time.
Interesting.
Seemed very interested in the research, but didn't necessarily recognize the name of like Rion or anything in particular. Or, oh yeah, he's gone again. I showed him Retribution, but he didn't recognize that either.
Is was Hux hanging out downstairs?
Probably somewhere.
He was in the kitchen.
I let I let Silas know. I'm not sure where Hux was.
It was in the kitchen. I found Hux. I don't know.
Wonderful.
He's stuffing carrots into his pocket.
Right. Well, that sounds like then we can go. But that's interesting that these kept his attention.
Yeah. I suspect he's had some interaction with, if not the same being, effects of the same. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. Well, let's be off. Is it what time is it right now, roughly? Okay. Like early afternoon?
Now
still?
that you've made your way back to Quartermains and spent
Late afternoon?
about an hour, it would be early afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make our way to the upper district.
How long have we been down there, Becca?
That's the weird part.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from the point of leaving to the point of your return up here, you would have been down there for about 5-ish hours.
Okay.
It's a lie.
I guess Vidar's gonna tell us, like, where have you been? It's been 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
No, I wouldn't do that to you guys. Okay.
Just wanted to
You
make sure
make your
because
way-
my nightmare has only 24 hours, you know,
Oh.
and whatnot. But yeah, I guess we can use the nightmare still to
To gallop through the streets.
to fly through the streets.
I don't know if that's much better. Okay.
Might cause about
as
fly
much
of a
around
scene
or
as
do you
Vint.
take the
It's
paper?
faster at least.
You could ride around the plate of the district instead.
Sure.
Why not? Let's do it this time.
I mean, you will give me a hard time about bringing Vince out.
So, as you gallop through the sky up to the upper district, you definitely notice a lot of people looking up and pointing towards you as you leave the medial district and round towards the upper district. You also see a fair number of the guards just
Mhm.
sort of looking at
It's fine.
and you descend into the streets of the upper district. There are a few guardsmen nearby, but even though they watch you, they don't seem to make any moves to intervene just yet.
See.
Before long as you make your way down the street, you find yourself in front of Vidar's mansion.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna fly in through this window. Okay, fine.
Do you fly into his window?
Yes. Absolutely.
Not.
Do you crash through the closed window?
Oh, it's closed.
Yeah, no,
Well, I
there's no
don't.
open window.
We can use the ethereal plane to get there, right?
Well, okay, he does.
Everyone's going to his door.
This is how I imagine it. Rhett flying on the broom, you're on the nightmare. You just fly straight toward the window, and I just have to like brake really sharply as you go through. The ethereal plane. Like, I
Oh,
gotta get one
You
of those.
shift into the ethereal plane and enter through like one of the large windows.
yeah, it's just a death trap, you know. You can just enter the thing.
Do you?
Yes. You know what?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Ellen does not. Ellen does not.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to stay alive.
Yeah. So
He's expecting us. It's fine.
I need to figure out how exactly this time was. So
Oh.
galloping along or somewhere above the street towards the mansion, you see these large stained glass windows along the sides of the mansion, and Soleil is holding straight towards. Do some people jump off? How exactly? When are you getting off? When? Who is on the horse?
I guess that's a great question. How many people can fit around the horse?
3. So
I'm
not
not
all
sure.
of us. So yeah, there's a broom.
So Evelyn probably would have been on the horse, but as they got close, jumped off to fly down to the gates
Nice.
that are in front of. Because she's like, you enter through the front door, so you don't die.
Okay, so as Red veers off with the broom and Evelyn jumps off, making her way towards the gate, you just
You would have assumed they would have been following.
go into the ethereal plane and face through the window.
Is Huxley on the horse?
Yep.
Hux, wanna
Nice.
have some fun?
He's
And,
not
jumping
off.
You ride directly into the large open ballroom of Vidar's mansion. Currently, it is dark in here. The only light really is the light falling in through the windows in mixed colors from the stained glass. And you don't immediately see anyone around. Do you keep riding? Do you stop?
I wanna ride towards the front door. I wanna open it for Ablin.
So you ride towards the front door. Evelyn.
Evelyn's at the gate, pulling the bell to let her know.
The red is on the other side of the gate, opening the gate.
So as you
Oh
as
my
you
God.
slow down a little bit not to crash into the ground, Evelyn uses the knocker at the door. And what did Red do?
Isn't there a
I
gate
opened the gate
before
to the
going to the
yard.
door?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that? Or
There
is it
is
just a
no
direct
outer
way to the
gate.
door? Okay,
Oh,
sorry. So
There
she
is
just went
one
to the door then.
before the Quad Silver Estate, but not
Okay.
Oh.
the Vidar's mansion.
I mixed them up. Okay, yeah, then she would have gone to the door to, like, knock on it.
And Red follows suit.
Also there, yeah.
So as you veer towards the door, Silas, you hear knocking on the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it.
I'm assuming you've at this point shifted out of.
Yeah. I will go back to the normal plane.
So Evelyn, the door opens almost immediately as you knock, and instead of Vidar, you see Silas on the horse, and Huxley.
Come, get on in.
She kind of looks past them. Can she see Vidar at all?
Currently, the room is still entirely dark.
It's.
Are there
While I-
candles?
No,
The candelabras?
there is
I can
a
see.
chandelier, but
Prestidigitation. It's now
pretty
lit.
far away. What is the range of prestidigitation?
It's like
30.
30.
It is too far away.
What if I'm closer with a broom?
You fly
my
in.
God.
A little bit.
Evelyn is
So,
like just
as the
moving
door's, like,
to
half
hold her
open,
temples,
and
like
you look
rubbing them.
towards the door, you notice red flying in through the door above you,
Just a little bit.
and towards the massive chandelier,
I just want to turn on the lights when I walk in.
and
Evelyn refuses to step inside.
just as
He's just
Red
rubbing her
begins casting Prestidigitate, the candles light up.
Nice.
The chandelier lights up, as do all the wall sconces around the room.
Oh,
And-
great prestidigitation. Nice.
Silas, you hear Vidar right behind you, standing next to the horse.
Hey there, pal.
How nice of you to let yourself in.
Wanted to save
I
you the
can
time.
See you are in high spirits.
Aren't we always?
We flew through the
Seeing-
wall!
I noticed.
You see him sort of look up towards Red, still hovering in the air.
The fact that you are largely unharmed and returned tells me there is at least something you've discovered.
Yeah, it's good news this time.
Then let us talk in private. Somewhere, perhaps, away from windows.
He throws another glance at Silas before he starts moving across the ballroom.
Everyone's just moving to follow him, like horrified, like I'm never. I can't believe I invited these people into my home once with my parents. Like there is this like, the amount.
I love how Evelyn. This is where Evelyn draws the line. You know, that's just so
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
No man. The audacity.
There's not even. Evelyn has actually broken into his home before, but it was like emergency circumstances in her mind.
Mhm.
And so like now there is no emergency. He's already expecting them. It
We've
should
all
have been-
broken in here before.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, but it's about like the decorum under the circumstances. There's no reason to break those rules, other than just flagrantly breaking like expectations.
Saving some time here. It's cool.
Horrified.
Also, just showing him like where his like fortifications fail. You know, like so he can make the better preparations to protect his home. You know, just it's like a hacker. You know, like big industries, like they hire hackers to find like the problem with the firewall, and that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
what I did. I should be paid for doing this. You know.
It's called an
He-
offensive security specialist.
Hmm.
He should have fixed this by the last time he, got his home broken into. I'm just saying. He didn't.
He leads you through the great ballroom of his mansion, towards and up the stairs at its back, guiding you down a long corridor until you find yourself in a study. A room lined with bookcases. Across an island of several tables in the middle of the room lie mountains of scattered notes and weird clockwork contraptions. But Vidar shuffles you past the tables towards a ring of couches on the other side of the room. Even here you find books forming towers and piles, but you also find plenty of space to sit down, as Vidar does.
Evelyn moves to go sit down. Still refusing to look at everyone. for a brief moment of like, I'm pretending none of this happened for my own peace of mind.
This is how it feels.
Then please elaborate on what you have found.
Well,
Sorry, I don't
Silas
have my
took the
notes.
best sketch he could of what
Yeah.
appears to be a map of not necessarily the world, but the ley lines of the world and their convergences and where the blight has eaten them.
I pull out the sketchbook and show him the sketch.
And where exactly did you find this map?
That was a apparatus that wasn't in the memories that you were shown of something constructed and left partially, potentially undone, in the center of the room.
He leans over. Do you let the book leave your hands? The sketchbook? Silas?
I will hold it for him.
So as he gives it a tug, you make it clear that you're not letting it out of your hand.
Yeah, there are a lot of sketches in there. I don't want to give them all to him.
There's this short sideways glance in your direction as he just sort of shuffles to sit a little bit closer. And a proper look at you.
Now you have to get cozy with him.
At least I took a bath beforehand.
Yeah. Of particular interest, there was a magnifier and a selected location that was left noted. I don't know.
It seems to
stuck
be where
out.
it was last positioned.
Right.
I can see there is a gear for turning the apparatus. Did you release it?
We did.
And it did not
Everyone-
move to another location.
No.
I see.
Just kind of spun and spun until I presume the spring unwound or something. So that
Would
particular
you mind
location.
if I made a copy of these sketches?
He stares and Silas.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you let go of the book?
Make it quick.
He takes your sketchbook and moves over to one of the tables where you see him dip a feather into a pot of ink. And then as he turns to you, you see the feather start moving on its own on a piece of paper.
So what we presume are ley lines, some of them might be recognizable. For example, this one I think might be corresponding to the air portal, the convergence.
I have several maps on just the same subject, so perhaps those will give me an idea of what exactly the overlap of these are. It does not immediately ring a bell, so perhaps there is a difference. Was this all you had found?
Well, the city itself is very unique and does not seem to be bound by space or time. So we found other things, but I don't think anything that pertains
I mean, we
to-
found some tools that looked like they might belong to Boltzmann and his crew, so
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
that's That's something worth mentioning, I
Alright.
guess.
Crew seems unlikely.
Oh yeah, whatever. Boltzmann at least. We that's at least we didn't find proof, but like who else
My
would have done stuff
own
there?
efforts to find Adivir have not been entirely fruitless. If only in the way that the fact that I have found nothing is a clue unto itself.
That he doesn't want to be found, right?
Well, or more so, he is somewhere that is hard to find. With Orvith's help and through various contact favors owed and some made, and their means of divination, I've at least managed to establish that Adivir Boltzmann is currently nowhere to be found on Cowron. Considering the nature of his research, based in the material existence, I find it unlikely he would seek refuge in another plane, unless stranded. Our most likely target would therefore lie beyond the continent's borders. Most rationally, he is currently either on Vaduligo, far to the east, or further west on Calescent. I must admit that I had previously given little thought to the other continents. With smaller populations and more archaic infrastructure, I had not given them much credit to their survival. But perhaps with everything we know now, this could have been a saving grace for them. I have no doubt
Perhaps.
that what you found may help me further narrow down our destination, unless completely contradicting my theory. Either way, I have full confidence I will have a heading within the next 3 or so days. Then you should be ready to leave. There is also another matter that I would have liked to mention. It is, of course, about the persisting problem affecting the people of Polythreme. As I was reaching out to people, I did confirm that the condition appears to affect this city alone. Of course, that does not diminish the gravity of things. In just a few years, our world has shrunk to just a few cities after all. But it opens a certain possibility. There is a chance that people who leave now would remain entirely unaffected despite what happens. Of course, a mass exodus would be a logistical impossibility, and there is always the uncertainty that it would not work or somehow not matter. However, if there are people you personally consider invaluable to our cause or yourself, there is the possibility of a temporary arrangement for their stay in Antogark, for example.
Certainly something to consider.
Yeah.
Give it some thought. Of course, convincing these people or trying to explain why they would have to go there would be up to you.
We can definitely give you some good thought over the next few days.
Then expect the word from me in the next 3 days. It would be best if you were ready to leave at any moment, however.
Noted.
What we can do.
On a slightly different topic, do you recall a Wizard High Garden? I'd be curious to get your thoughts on him.
I have to admit that I do not recall someone by that name.
First name Lorenz. Particularly talented combat, I suppose, evocation. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's evocation.
The name does seem vaguely familiar, but I cannot recall a face or personality. Unless they were one of the archmages or demi-mages, I would assume that I would not have met them during my last years in the academy.
Sure. He's the current champion of the dueling arena, I suppose. If the Wizards would call it that. In any case, it came to our attention recently as looking to escape the Archon's grasp, and from Archness in general. Yes. As the Wizards call it, cardio.
Cardio.
And I gave him my best attempt at the runes of your portal through the plane of fire. He may prove a valuable ally if he does escape.
Your best attempt?
Yes?
I am sure you've done the man a great service then, if you managed to escape the Archon in such a way.
I would expect him to come here if he does. If for some reason you hear of him or he comes looking for us, for any, while we are gone, for example, I don't know. It was just a thought that
I shall
might be something you should be aware of.
with a few people.
Right.
And the Polythreme guard, most likely. Thank you for bringing this to my awareness.
He certainly seemed a very talented wizard. At least in the combat sense. I don't know if there's other talents, but...
He better be.
Well, you know, he was pretty desperate, so... I don't know what Overvaith has told you. Sounds like it's getting pretty bad there.
He mentioned something of the sort. He had taken another short stint away from Arcanist. He'd been returning recently, so I'm sure when next we speak, I will know more.
Right.
Regular, just to double check, there's no details that Evelyn would think were relevant that we haven't told Vidar. She's not trying to necessarily leave anything out of what they came from the city. In the city? From the lower, like the city they went to, and in the.
Unless you would think that any of the other stuff you found would be of import, you would have told them everything from at least the refuge. That would be of import.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Right. Cool. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that you would have mentioned.
Okay.
Alright.
Then we will wait to hear from you, and in the meantime, I'll see if there's individuals that we can convince to leave the city.
Vidar looks down and for a moment it looks like he's considering flipping the pages of the sketchbook. And then he hands it back.
Glancing at him.
You know when someone hands you their phone with a picture and you just want to see what happens if you swipe to the left real quick? Okay.
I guess they head out.
I assume you can find your own way out, seeing as you found your own way in.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we'll sort it out. Apologize again for the arrival of my companion.
Sure, jump on, Hux, and
Evelyn is going to pointedly retrace her steps and walk out the door, like to walk out the front door. She's not going.
Red, you notice as Vidar sort of looks towards the ground near where you see just a flaming hoof print imprinted over the carpet.
Oh, I'll get that. Purchase
As the horse turns around, Silas and Huxley already atop and just galloping back out, I suppose.
Oh, that's gonna need a mending too. I got that too. Hang on, mending.
I'm so tempted to not face into the other room and just burst through the window.
Oh my god.
I'm not doing it, but I'm super tempted to.
I already expected you to go in that way.
And then we'll wait outside the front door for Red.
Yeah. I'll get done prestidigitating the hoofprints and burn marks away.
You move down the corridor every now and then if you see just a square on the ground, you quickly press the pen. Make your way out the mansion.
Guess we regroup
Yeah.
somewhere mid-air. I mean, if we want to tell people like they have to leave, we can always tell them like the sleep curse will get you. You have to get out of here or something.
It sounded kind of like everyone's family was already sort of thinking that.
They weren't working on leaving yet. There were other people that were leaving.
Yeah, right.
Red, if you can arrange like a dream tonight, I can make arrangements in Entok Arc, so they are going to be expected if they
sure.
go there.
That's a good idea. Well, yeah, I mean, you can make the arrangements. In the dream tonight, I mean.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I'm trying to do. Yeah,
Oh, okay, sorry.
that's why I asked you for a dream, so I can
Right.
contact them.
Do we want to swing by the... Okay, we probably shouldn't fly in through their windows, because we don't know what rooms people are in.
Yeah, in the end, no, I wouldn't do that
Yeah.
for them. We can
Where are we
take
heading?
the normal entrance.
I'm asking,
If we
that's
go
something
there.
that we should try to talk to people about right now?
I suppose it's a conversation to have. I can attempt to convince my family to leave. They might not see it as any more than jumping the gun on being concerned and fearful of the situation, and moving away from their comforts might be difficult. But, Rhett, if you'd like, we could possibly see either way if we could get your mother sent to Attica.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Possibly, Silas, there's a way that you could get Rhett's mother a position that she could work in the meantime while we
Sure.
sort things out. She's a brilliant tailor, quite skilled and very intelligent.
Sounds great.
She
I
sings
mean,
almost as well as me.
it's not my call to make. I'm still, bodyguard and whatnot, but I can talk to Lorana about it.
Alright, well, we'll swing by there then.
Right. Could we not have the flaming horse in my parents' field of vision?
Sure, we can land a couple hundred yards in front of it and in front of the gate, and then walk the rest.
In the kitchen.
No, let's not have the horse anywhere on the premises. Please?
Sure. I mean, we can bring Winona or something, if that's better. Or we can just get there by foot.
We're already here. I mean,
Yeah.
You can just walk.
Yeah, sure. If you like boring things, it's okay.
In this situation, I prefer it.
Okay.
Yes, we're heading to Evelyn's family house.
Mm-hmm. You make your way to the quad silver alley.
On the way, is Evelyn gonna sit with Red on the broom, or how does she get there?
No, she's walking.
I think we're all.
Oh, the complete way
She-
there. Okay.
She's walking the entire way.
Yeah. So I thought a couple hundred feet away from the mansion he would land,
which-
and then.
That's as much as she's expecting from them.
Okay.
But she has a reputation, and people gossip, so she is walking.
So yeah, because Soleil just wants a quick moment with Red, as he leans
Okay.
over and is like,
Sorry.
why does she hate horses so much?
Probably associated some with trees. She doesn't hate horses. She hates.
Has she been bitten as a child or something?
I don't think so. It's more of. She doesn't like. I can't explain it. It's like she doesn't like social things, unless they're really world altering. Then she loves social things.
Oh, okay. This picture is so good. So it's a social thing. So, isn't it aren't rich people about the purebreds and horses and whatnot? Isn't that a super social thing usually?
Only in the right context. Like if we were at a racetrack, then she'd be about it. We're not.
Alright.
Yeah.
As Silas
But
approaches purebred horses, you look over to the nightmare with its flaming eyes, half open mouth, out of which flames and smoke slowly waft outward.
It's the purest kind.
Now she wouldn't be at all embarrassed if this was world-ending meteors coming down from the sky and she were the one causing it. She'd be totally social about that. But horses in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I
See,
don't understand
yeah,
this
I
mess.
mean, yeah, I guess. It's fine, I respect and accept her terms.
Yeah.
For now.
But nah. Yet.
Yet.
You arrive at the Quad Silver estate. Do you leave the horse outside the gate?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you step in through the outer gate in the yard and make your way towards the mansion, who knocks? Who stands?
Lynn's waiting.
I do the introduction
Not.
as usual.
I go full bodyguard mode again, I guess.
You knock and the door opens and you look into the face of another one of your parents' servants. Ah, the young Miss Quadsilver. You are here to see your family?
I was stopping in to see if they were in or if they were out and about today.
Ah, yes. The lord of the house is here. I shall go immediately. If you would like to step inside. He sort of steps to the side, letting you in, and almost immediately you see her hurrying up the stairs.
And we'll move inside the front entrance. Wait.
A couple of moments pass, and the door at the top of the staircase opens, and out steps your father. As you see him appear, as you see the scruffy beard, you're almost glad that it wasn't your mother who
Yeah.
stepped out first.
Yeah. Father? I was
Daughter?
hoping to possibly I know I didn't give much notice of my arrival, but I was hoping that I might have a moment of your time.
Is this going to take long?
No, it should be rather brief.
Right. Let's go to the dining hall then.
Very well. And she's gonna turn and look to Rhett. Rhett, if you'd like to go see
Sure.
your mother briefly, and I'll if you'd take Hux with you, possibly.
Sure.
And
appreciate
your
it.
friends, how many will they be joining us after?
No, they'll we're only briefly stopping in,
Ah.
and I
Well,
think
then, you seem to sort of clap, and the attendant who went to presumably fetch your father steps out of the door behind him. A few refreshments, just the two of us then. He continues down the stairs and towards the side of the hall.
Before you go, Rhett's gonna give you a thumbs up and be like, "It's
I
just
mean,
family business.
Is
You're
it
good at this."
is it the two of them? Is it like I'm bodyguard mode? Is Abelin dismissing me?
Evelyn will nothing else if he follows, have him wait outside the door. So she's kind of she'll glance telepathically to Silet. I'm gonna have a private word with him. You can either guard the door if you like, or go with Brett.
I'm fine with the door. Thanks.
And then she'll move to follow her
You
father.
step inside, leaving.
Anyway, what I was saying was I give you a little encouragement as a bardic inspiration.
Thank you. I assumed that's what you were actually doing.
Okay.
I did appreciate.
Okay.
Is this long moment as you stand outside in silence and the door closes, where you and another attendant waiting outside the door simply look at each other silently.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment lasts for a while. And inside, the two of you take your place. Your father moving immediately towards the end of the table.
I'm sorry, my dog is barking non-stop. Can you give me one moment?
No, of course. Silence, silence, silence.
Guess I'm gonna change.
Walking outside.
Yeah, I'm waiting outside. I guess I could change my appearance in front of the servant just to confuse them. I'm gonna turn into Reginald.
Oh gosh.
No, make it Vidar, not Reginald. Maybe it's someone they know.
Turn into Vidar, wink at him, and turn back.
Exactly, that's what I want to do.
You turn into Vidar?
Yes.
You turn into Vidar, and there is this startled noise from the attendant as they sort of reel back for a second. Are you? Is that Lord Vidar?
And I wink and I
Oh,
turn back
okay.
to Soleil.
Are you?
Well, it's not your place to know.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, he's just a joker
You see
today.
the attendant almost take up the pose of a statue, trying to avoid looking at you.
I saw it going that way, or the attendant also shapeshifts and gives you a shape.
Mm,
Come
Shifts
back.
into creature.
that would be glorious.
Oh gosh.
Oh, welcome, Nick.
Thanks. My dog has food and water now, so hopefully she'll.
Like, why are you interrupting? Oh, no.
See it. What I said. Right. So I'm gonna move to sit down in her normal seat across from her father. Wanted to have a quick word. I'm sure you've done your own research on the matter, but just a simple suggestion after having spoken with some of my contacts. It seems like it might be best for this sleeping sickness, that it doesn't seem like it's affecting anyone outside of the city, from what I've heard. They haven't seen it in Antigark or anywhere else. So it was perhaps a suggestion while we get to the bottom of whatever this is, that perhaps the safest place for a family is outside of Polythreme.
We were repeatedly reassured that this is not contagious in any way.
Not contagious, but
Well,
As
more
my
and more have
understanding is-
fallen ill, you are right about that. And some have died.
right. I myself am looking at leaving the city in a few days on a trip with my entourage to visit some of the other cities. A bit of sightseeing, just until things get warm down here.
But you know what this would look like to the council and to others. We are the city's foundations. We can't just tuck tail and run.
Which is why I was going to make the suggestion. I could see if you were interested, if my bodyguard's contact,
Ah,
well,
yes,
would
I do remember.
if possibly we could make an arrangement for you to be able to visit Antagark on the premises of a part of encouraging good relations between our cities.
So a diplomatic mission of sorts.
Yes, not a turning tail, but finding strength in the moment.
Well, it would certainly fall in line with seeking some contacts I'd tried to make anyways, but you realize your mother won't be happy about it.
She's rarely happy. But it would be good for her to potentially also be able to socialize with the elite in Antagar on the more feminine side of things. I understand.
I would have to find maybe other arrangements for your brothers, perhaps. All of us going. Even if they would not immediately know, if they would find out, it would not look that good.
Agreed.
I'm sure I can arrange something. It'll take some explaining away and maybe some more discretion from the staff. You notice that he definitely speaks up as he says that. Not enough that Silas, you hear through the door discretion from the staff and nothing else.
I believe even if everyone stays here, I believe Rex was also going to be looking to see if his mother would be interested in working outside of the city. There's just been enough concern at this point in time that until everything's resolved, it seems the safest route.
Can you roll me a persuasion check?
Such good persuasion. Oh, okay, not too bad.
Got the inspiration.
Just horrible.
Oh, so close.
It's an 8 plus 2. What die is it now? There's a D12? What's the inspiration die?
Oh, yes, it did. D12, sorry. I was going to give it to you, I forgot. What is?
Is that 8 plus that brings me to a 19.
Okay. Well, I am not uneager or opposed to this idea of a diplomatic mission. Seeing who to bring along, in terms of staff, anything can be arranged. Your mother and your sisters will be a different story.
They generally are.
I don't suppose you could have there be some sort of formal invitation arrive
I will
from your
see what I
friends
can
there.
do. I'd have to. I know that there is planned communication to them this evening, so I will see if that's something that can be arranged, possibly.
Yes, a formal invitation would help a great deal. It would certainly look good in front of the council.
I believe that I should be able to pull it off.
Good. And I will await that. And in the meantime, try to convince your mother.
Is he saying he'll try and convince?
Yes.
Okay. And I think I have the easier task at hand.
She should return in a few hours. So, if you had wanted to see her yourself, you're welcome to stay and partake in the refreshments. This is, after all, still your home.
I appreciate
If
it,
you
but
had
I
wanted to avoid seeing her today, I recommend you not stick around for too long.
I think for the sake of my companions who are also trying to run some errands, we will unfortunately have to depart.
It is unfortunate, but well, at the very least, you'll miss the fireworks.
He kind of pauses and considers things before she kind of moves to stand. But I don't want to occupy any more of your time. I did let you know that I would be brief.
Oh, of course. And kiddo, thank you.
Of course. We are family.
And tell that bodyguard of yours, I expect great things from him.
I will let him know. And surely will move to the door.
As the door to the outside opens, you see the attendant just sort of almost looking away from Silas and the door, just snap back her gaze towards you.
Little do they know.
Is there anything you needed?
No, I think I was able to finish the discussion with my father, so I'm sure he'll be able to return to his business.
As she's looking at you and speaking to you, you notice that there is glances. Repeated glances towards Silas at the side of the door.
I'll narrow her eyes ever so slightly, and then walk past Silas. Come along.
All
Let's
right.
just try and imagine. Like, try and block out. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I mean, he's basically saying nothing and just looking professional.
Suspicious.
As you move past her, Silas following Evelyn, you don't really look around to see it, but you definitely hear as you sort of step past the attendant, you hear this long sigh of relief. Meanwhile, in the other wing,
Alright, so
likely
Huxley,
at the servants' quarters.
I'm figuring I don't tell everyone this, but I don't really know her mind on what we were discussing earlier. So you got that teleporting thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking we just get my mom out of here tonight, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if she wants to come back to Quartermains with us in case we all want to go. But like, if you do it tonight, you could just be back in the morning.
Yep.
Nice. All right, good plan.
I am pretty familiar with Antakar.
Hux has been there for one day or something like that.
Yeah. Why did you say it like that? I know you are. Why did you say it like that? Okay.
That's important for the spell.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Let's go find my mom.
Oh shit, I gotta get arrested. You make your way through the servants' quarters, and very different to the rest of the house, where most of the corridors and halls lie still throughout most of the day, except when someone visits any given room with their slew of attendants. The servants' quarters are almost always lively and busy, as servants are performing their daily duties, rushing in and out of the rest of the manor, or simply tending to clothing or other things. And in amidst the churning of attendants, you find your mother.
I will pull her aside to whoever's convenient. If there's such a place as an aside.
There is plenty of sort of rooms in the area, and some that are more quieter than others.
Okay.
Oh, you look worried. Is everything okay? Something happened?
Well, yes and no. So obviously the city's been having a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah, but
I fall asleep.
it sounded like things were looking up, at least with the riots and stuff.
Yes, but I'm reasonably concerned about the sleeping thing. And I've come to find out that other cities aren't being affected.
Oh well, they don't really tell us much, but they don't
Yeah.
seem to be too worried about things. I mean, there's definitely people worried about it, but it's not. It's not like everyone is. Well, they keep saying it doesn't spread, but then more people keep falling.
Yeah.
Do you
So
know
that's
anything about
true.
that?
Yes, and that's why I'm saying this. But it's not the kind of thing that should like get around. Well,
Is it
I'm
a
pretty
curse on the city?
not exactly no. It's really so it's a bit complex, and I'm also not like 100% sure. I'm just pretty sure that like it would be a good idea to get out of the city.
Can you roll me an insight check?
Sure. Insight check?
Well, it's opposing. Because your mother certainly does.
Are you saying deception? Like an insight? If this is my insight to her, I don't know. It's a
You can make a persuasion or
22.
deception either way.
Sorry, so not insight?
Yes, persuasion or deception. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It is then a 26 persuasion. I'm trying not to lie, but I don't want to like talk about everything. Tell me with persuasion.
You notice as you're sort of dancing around the subject, there's definitely a bit of a side eye from him.
It's not my thing to talk about. If that makes any
Even
sense.
to your mother?
I mean, maybe it might be. I don't know.
Alright, I won't pester you too much.
It's just like if anybody found out I told you, you would be in even more danger. So
I get it. It's an important thing. But, so are you saying there's, a danger? Should I?
I think so. I think we should like bounce.
Keep quiet about that?
Well, not precisely in that we are letting some other people know too.
Oh, okay, can I let my friends, Is that...
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like why not, right? I mean, like everybody, I've heard that from around the city before, so I don't think that's gonna be anything new to them, hopefully.
Right.
Like, right, we have heard this kind
Be
of
vague
idea
about it,
around.
and they'll be weird about it. But
Yeah, that's about where we're at. Vague and weird, and everything's weird. I don't like it either.
right, and
Anyway, so this is my friend Huxley. Huxley knows how to teleport.
hi. I'm sorry.
So if you feel like packing and swinging by Quartermains later tonight, that'd be ideal.
Not, you wanna pack up and leave tonight?
Yes.
Does the lady of the house know?
The lady in my house does? Will? Shortly? I was gonna tell her.
Cool, okay. I will get my things ready.
Okay.
And I will meet you at Quartermains, you said?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Whew.
Well, then you best hurry on out of here because
I am
it
sorry.
appear I have a lot more work to get done before tonight.
Okay. And we're off.
You return to the main hall where you would likely find Evelyn and Silas waiting by the door.
And we can stop. So, Silas, I was thinking, like, once we're outside, that went pretty well. I'm thinking more. I don't think I need to arrange a dream tonight.
Okay.
Huh?
What?
Why not?
I'm just thinking, wouldn't this be better done, like, in person to explain everything?
I mean, sure, but do you want to like fly the dart over there? It takes a couple days. Seems too long.
No, but I know this Huxley character.
Get teleported.
I mean, the last time we teleported, it was like dangerous, but it
Didn't
worked,
quite
right?
make exactly where we were trying to go.
Yeah, but Huxley said Huxley knows the city pretty well. Like, you know.
Well, also, like, that sketchbook that you have, right? That's from Antokar, right? Because you gave your old one to...
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I have that, then it's gonna be super easy.
Nice. See? We just
I mean,
spent the night
also
there, we're
if
back
these,
here in the morning.
I mean, also if these gloves, they have been made especially for me in Antark. It was a gift from Lorana.
Silas says, not wanting to give the sketchbook to anyone else.
Yes.
Everyone's goal is now just to steal that sketchbook.
And how did it go with your father? By the way.
Decent. I was unfortunately going to perhaps see if I could burden Lorana with an invitation to my family to go to Anticar.
There you go. We can pick up an invitation. We're back here in the morning. Easy. And also, my mom's gonna come along.
Oh. All right. Fair enough.
All right, I think we gotta go back.
I guess.
And we can, and you're sure that you feel confident in what you're trying to do, and that we'll be able to return just as swiftly?
Oh, yeah. Coming back is even more easy. Well, I guess as long as I have an object that's like tied to the place I'm going to, it's just, you know, there's no risk.
Nice.
Right.
Oh,
All right.
it's not been 6 months since we've been to Antark, right?
No,
Okay.
it was fairly recent, I believe. It's only been a couple of weeks.
Because we stopped there
Yeah. on the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
after the fact, so.
Just making sure.
Right. It's odd to think that we'll be just leaving Polythreme that easily. But alright.
I sort of want to insight check that
I
balloon.
mean, we'll be back in the morning. Or we can be back in the
Are you inciting Edwin?
Yes, I think so.
What are you trying to insight?
If she's upset at having to not. Brett's not convinced that she's not going to do something absolutely crazy tonight, which is why he's pushing for his mom to get out of the city tonight.
Okay. Well, Evelyn, you can roll me persuasion or deception. You don't need to say which it
It's
is.
a 13. I have a 13, so it's not great. But, like, are you really thrown off by this? By, like, oh, I had plans tonight? Is basically what he's, like, giving you a little
Okay,
side eye, like,
deception failed horribly. I would say there's obviously something that's thrown Evelyn off.
Yeah.
And like having to align things all in her head and she's in the middle of trying to reorganize her thoughts. Is
Yeah.
probably mostly what you're seeing.
there's not, like, a, oh, good, I don't have to kill myself tonight, relief.
No, there's actually, if anything, more stress.
Okay.
She becomes more stressed out.
I think that's good. I'm gonna take that as good. Okay.
Meanwhile, if you take a look at Silas, he just looks
Yes.
super excited.
Yeah, nice. Let's go. I guess we go pack. I don't know.
Yeah, we head back to Quartermain.
You make your way back to Quartermain. Is there anything you do until your plans in the evening?
Elma's gonna head back up to her room. And do her best to distract herself with more of her work on trying to figure out how to keep herself alive.
Just basic packing. Don't think anything.
We're gonna be there for a day, so don't need to pack too much, I guess.
Evelyn, can you roll me a quick medicine?
I can. Nice. 18.
Okay.
You're so good at medicine.
Yeah, I have plus 15 in medicine.
Yeah.
That was a horrible roll.
In your considerations of how to keep yourself alive, your theories begin to wander towards the few vital organs you need to keep alive. Mainly your brain, and closely associated with that, your heart.
Got it.
Oh, I guess I do want to dash off a quick note to Brielle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep it even more vague, like hinting that finding a place in the outer, like the outer cities, might be wise.
Okay.
As far as we know, no one in the core to
Specifically, actually, nobody in the outer city has been affected.
So that seems like an easy. Hey, why don't you just practice out there for a few days?
Okay.
Hang out with my religious cult, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, she's helped with that before, a little bit, tangentially. So,
Yeah, you formulate a relatively vague letter and send it out with a runner. Can you give me a persuasion check with that?
Sure. It's 14.
Okay. And then if there was nothing else you had planned in the meantime, evening would soon roll around, and your mother would arrive with a knock at the door.
Nice. This is like aside from that. Do we want to talk about? Do you think Reginald would even be willing to leave the city? Probably not.
Probably not.
I think
No.
whatever is protecting Reginald here might be able to protect him more than anything else.
That's probably true.
Same with Aelith, probably.
Yeah.
Also, someone needs to keep Reginald fed.
Yeah. Okay.
Aelith doesn't sleep in Courting and stuff, right?
He does some nights. We found out.
Yes.
Okay.
He
Not
has
all
been
the time.
recently.
Okay.
He does
recently
seem
has
to leave relatively frequently, especially when he goes on errands.
been. Mhm.
And presumably sometimes he stays the night outside somewhere.
I don't think that it's worth trying to convince them to leave him. So,
The only thing would be to tell Aelith maybe to spend his nights inside.
Oh yeah, sure,
That would be the only thing I would say that we would do different.
sure. Yeah, I can mention that to him.
Encourage him to sleep here more often than not.
Yeah. I will do that briefly then.
As you tell Aelith to sort of keep close and stay in Quartermains for the time being, you definitely find him more agreeable to the suggestion than anyone else you've talked to today. Especially considering that Endor is in a room upstairs
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and affected by a plague.
And then as my mother arrives, If everyone's ready, I suppose we should head out. It'd be a fun surprise. I don't recommend the horse for this trip.
I mean, I guess at some point the 24 hours are gonna be over, and then 5 days no horse anyway. So
I will grab a book from the library before we go.
I will take Winona then. They know Winona already. That's the one I used the last time when
Yeah, that's a good point.
How accurate are you, Hux?
Well, if I use the gloves, then we'll be transported to wherever they were made, or they're from.
And you're absolutely positive they were made in the city?
I guess that depends a little bit on Beggar. That's the gift I got from Lorana. That was like the starting magical item for the campaign.
Mhm.
I don't know if she got them custom made in Antarctica or if she bought them from somewhere.
I would say that you definitely know that they were tailored to fit you. And they were tailored in Antarctica. Whether or not they were originally made there, you're not 100% sure, but it would be weird if they were just retailered.
You know what? Just take my hat. I know that one has been made in Antarctica for sure.
It says like an object taken from the desired destination within the last 6 months. So it not necessarily made there, I guess.
Oh,
Taken.
That's-
last 6 months. Okay.
So does he need an item from the last 6 months?
Well, that would definitely be the notebook, the
Yeah.
sketchbook.
Yeah, that would definitely
Guess you
be
need
the
that notebook.
Also the frickin' what was it? The invisibility cloak thingy you have. We also found that when we were last time there.
Yeah, you did take that off of.
The asshole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get that now. At least that did.
Isn't it interesting how detailed Silas's memory is when it comes to his notebook?
Yes.
You could use this notebook or this really obscure, like, random invisibility clip. No, I'm just kidding.
There's a lot we can use, you know.
So, in the general vicinity of where it was created? Or taken from, or just in the city? Somewhere.
I think if we use the cloak, then we'll be transported to where we took the cloak from.
Oh, perfect. That's kind of where we want
That's
to go.
like the
anyway.
weekend house of the family,
Yeah.
of the Villan family.
The summer estate.
Summer estate, yeah.
How far away was that from the city?
It was about. I think it was a 10-minute ride from the city,
Okay.
so it was nearby,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't at the end of the world.
Mm-hmm,
of
mm-hmm.
the city.
Although I just remembered that I can also I think. Oh yeah, I don't even need this. I can just teleport through a tree.
Cool.
Wait, what?
This is why I memorized all the trees in Antagori.
Oh, see.
So we need to. How do you teleport through a tree?
Well, that I could only do tomorrow though, so maybe we just teleport. It's fun.
Oh, perfect.
Well, that is fun. We don't have to wait basically
Press
for
mod is
the other
probably
day.
Yeah.
Raph.
But I could also make a door in a tree, and then everyone can step through the tree.
Why don't we just do the object tonight?
Yeah.
We do this all the time. Don't worry. It goes like this every time. It's a blatant lie.
Okay, so you cast teleport. Which objects are you using?
The cloak.
Okay. How many people can you teleport?
8.
Okay,
Well, myself and up to 8 creatures.
Okay. The sensation of teleportation is not entirely unfamiliar to you at this point. And as Huxley casts the spell, you all teleport. As the teleport succeeds, you find yourself in a largely empty room.
Do I recognize the room?
What's your passive investigation again?
Passive investigation. Investigation. 20.
20, Jesus Christ. You would recognize the wood paneling of the ceiling, largely because you remember it slightly scorched. You are back in the summer house of the Villains. This is the room where you had, at the end, feeble-minded Sevja. And it looks like it's generally being refurbished. Likely due to damages sustained. Currently, it stands empty.
Well, we've arrived at the summer house.
Well, let's head out.
Yeah, let's go.
I think it's that way to the left, isn't it, right? Yeah.
You start making your way out of the still somewhat labyrinthine mansion. There are some obvious steps that have been taken to unfurl the mess of rooms, as you can tell. But as you start making your way out in largely empty manner, as you step out through the door, there are a couple of guards outside that immediately upon the door opening draw their glaives and swords, pointing in your direction.
Oh, hello. We were just visiting. We're leaving, though.
What?
Do I know them? Do I know the
Who
faces?
are you? Hold on.
I'm the Harvest King. You've seen me. Come on, guys.
You could be anyone disguised.
Seems highly improbable that I would claim these wild things if I was.
What are you doing in the summer house? How did you?
Well, we'd forgotten.
There's guards all around.
Yeah, no, we were teleporting around and we ended up here. Cause, well, my friend has this teleport thing and also had another object that I guess we got here.
Do I know these guards?
Hold on. I wanna.
Hey,
I wanna
listen,
roll
if
for
if you could just like detain us but not arrest us and take us to the the lands
You do
to
not
resolve
know
this,
these
that'd be perfect.
What did you say, Vega?
You do not know these guns.
But do I recognize their uniform? Is it like the family uniform, or is it like the city guards uniform? Like, what is it?
It is the city guards uniform.
We were hoping the lands would be here.
Then bring us to Nordrad.
Oh yeah, that would
He'll clear
that'd be
things up.
perfect.
You see them sort of lean over and whisper to one another. We will bring you to the city.
Perfect.
That's all we wanted to do anyway. Thanks.
But you should surrender your weapons if we are to escort you.
Ah, that won't be necessary. I'll do the little Jedi hand wave.
Oh God.
Are you rolling for station?
Yeah, dude. That won't be necessary. Look, if we're teleporting around, we go run.
Natural 20. Holy shit.
But like, come
Oh
on.
my god.
It's not.
No, it's not. You can take my word for it.
You can tell that there is a sort of hesitation in his voice as he speaks. Well, you'll walk, and we'll be on the horses behind you then.
Well, yeah, except for my mom. She's gonna kind of like hover on the broom. She's a little.
Didn't Silas
Broom?
bring
I have Winona with me.
Winona?
Oh, yeah, she'll ride on with one. No, how about that? Yeah, don't worry about the broom.
I guess the old lady could.
Oof.
Okay. All right, sir.
Oof.
Now you owe me an apology.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
All right.
Anyway, we still don't even know who you are. So
Hey, Max.
you step to the
Nice.
sort of gesture towards the road with this.
I'm gonna start walking and leading the horse then.
When we reach the city, you may inform them that we're evil.
Yeah.
You, under escort, make your way to the city. In a few minutes through the, at this point, largely harvested fields of Antogar. As you arrive at the gates, the confusion about your identities is fairly quickly resolved, and you are escorted further, this time without the two guards riding behind you, towards the inner palace walls, where upon entering you would find Noshran, as well as Lorana.
Eyes glowing up, I will immediately walk towards her.
As soon as you step through the gates and into the palace grounds, Lorana is also sprinting towards you, and much like the times you've met before, recently at least, throws herself around your neck, almost pushing you over into the ground.
Do I have to get getting used to this? He asks playfully.
Every time you stay away.
I wish to conspire with my mother
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Sorry we didn't give you information ahead that we were coming, but was kind of a spontaneous idea.
Well, if we had known, we could have at least told the guards at the summer house. Is this
Yes.
going to be a thing, Silas?
I mean, Where are we right now?
Currently, you
Potentially
are
it's-
at
it
the
could be.
palace.
In the palace? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, if we can take like a thing, like an item from here, from this very room, if you wanted to, then we could like use this place instead, if we wanted to come here. My friend Hugs has the ability to teleport.
Well, clearly. Anything you say?
Yeah, anything that's from this room.
You see him sort of half turn, grabbing a candle out of a candlestick and throwing it towards you.
Yeah. Handing it over to Hugs.
Right. Well, I guess I'll have to tell the guards of the palace at least that this might happen. How
I
has
would appreciate it.
things been? We've heard things from Polythreme, but we can't really establish what is rumor and not so far away.
I mean, we've been making progress. First we have stabilized the city, then all of a sudden the city wasn't really stabilized anymore, so... Things happened, yeah, but...
And that sleeping thing. Is that
Is
a
actually the
problem
reason
for
that
you?
we decided to come today,
Yeah.
this evening.
Because the sleeping thing is actually a big problem, yes.
Right. Are you hurried? Are you going to be on your way out quickly, or are you staying the night?
We are staying for the night.
Then let's at least talk about this somewhere more comfortable.
Sure,
Sounds good.
gladly.
As Nodrand leads you towards a large meeting room, one where you'd stayed before, do you tell him any details about the sleeping sickness, or do you keep things vague?
I will let Ablin do the talking.
Is Brett's mother staying there?
Probably.
Okay. It based on
Which doesn't have like I don't know.
No,
I
no,
feel
no,
like we've
it's-
given her a look like.
more just how she says things. Just would vary based on if his mother was there or not. She's not trying to get rid of her mom, his mom. But then everyone would, if a glance in her direction, I would go ahead and take it over. Currently, there seems to be the only thing that we can really make ends of the sickness is that it is happening within the walls of Polythreme. And we're further investigating that matter, but as we do so, and discreetly, it's not cause mass panic, we are hoping to potentially have certain individuals we care for so that we can focus better leave Polythreme, such as Rhett's mother here.
As Polythreme gets mentioned, Silas, you feel a tugging at your arm, very incessant tugging at.
Uh-huh.
Lorana whispers to you, "You're not staying in that city then, are you?"
Well, we're about to... I mean, we go back tomorrow, but only for a day or so. We are about to take off to... journey to another place.
Safe? I mean, if you know it's all there, then shouldn't you just not go back?
Trust me, it's safer if I go, actually. For everyone involved, I guess. It's complicated.
He does not continue pestering you, but you can see that there is a sort of half concern in her eyes.
He appreciates it, but he's just glad he's talking to her, actually.
Well, a stay can certainly be arranged. But what of the city itself? Is there going to be trouble and evacuation?
We're currently not at the point of evacuating the city as a whole. And she's gonna carefully glance around the room. We're aware of some potential conditions that might be causing the sleeping condition. And while we investigate that, it at least allows us a somewhat controlled view of the situation as a whole and what preventative measures can be taken to potentially keep people safe. But while we're doing so, we're trying to be as cautious as possible. And it was proposed that possibly some of our family members should be advised to leave while we finish investigating the matter.
Well, it could certainly be arranged. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle. If it's about keeping your close ones safe, then there really shouldn't be anything in the way of that.
Some of them might want to use this occasion to use it for diplomatic reasons, I think, Gablin, right?
Unfortunately so. My father has a discussion with him was as he is part of the council. Him leaving the city could be highly frowned upon, all things considered. So I was hoping to unfortunately use my friendship with you to see if there's any way that we could have a letter of invitation as a diplomatic visit to allow him and possibly my family to leave the city, to come visit here briefly.
Well, I mean, diplomacy, yes, but also he does a lot of business. It could actually be potentially beneficial to everyone involved.
Well, diplomacy is always welcome, especially with our shared history. I'll get our. I will write a draft for such a letter. I'm assuming then you are at least staying until the morning.
Yes.
I should have it ready by then, and I will arrange for someone to occupy your father, as you will, during his time here. There are plenty of traders and merchants of fairly high standing within our own pseudo-aristocracy, and I'm sure would love to talk to someone from Polythreme.
My father is not necessarily the individual I'd be worried about, honestly. It's my mother that I wish anyone luck with.
Oh,
But she'll manage.
Lorana, talking about mothers, this here is this lovely lady is the mother of my friend Red here, and she's a very skilled tailor from what I've heard. And maybe you, for the time being, you have like a place among your staff for her. She's, yeah, she would love to work
of
here.
course.
Looking at Red's mother, if she's okay with that.
Yeah, probably.
You see her sort of sitting next to it with a bag on her, just across her legs, and he looks somewhat confused by the situation. Still, mainly perhaps also from the fact that she just teleported to a completely different city.
And then saw me talk my way out of getting arrested.
At the moment,
First time traveling with her son, the first thing. Avoiding arrest.
you would wager there is little resistance to the suggestion, at least from Red's mother's side.
Cool.
Okay. And as for the moment, you finish your own diplomatic discussions.
Evan's
As
gonna
Yep.
very briefly meet Silas's eyes if he takes his eyes off of Lorna at all.
Unlikely.
I know.
Maybe for a moment when he looks over to Red's mother, but afterwards he would probably turn back again.
Then she'd probably like slightly clear her throat as he looked over to see if she would look at him.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does, then she'll telepathically say to him, obviously not for Rhett's mother's ears, but I trust your judgment if there's any further details you want to share with those you trust. I trust you. And then she'll let him go back to gazing lovingly at his...
Listen, my mom is a nice lady. She didn't in any way influence me in having a big mouth or gossiping. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
0%. Yeah, you will just try to play it off, but he definitely has heard it.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Then
ongoing
as you
conspiring.
Finish your own diplomatic mission, and presumably head off to your own individual rooms for the night, except some who probably have a shared room with someone.
What do you
This is
mean?
where we end today's session, as my voice is slowly giving out. So this is
I can go
a
back,
good
right?
place to call it.
Thanks for the session.
You have a long
Okay,
rest.
good.
I don't think Beggar expected us to go to Endor out today,
I don't
actually.
even have a mic. I didn't expect it to be that sudden.
He also probably didn't expect us to like take 1 hour to figure out this creature in the corner of the room.
Yeah, you know.
But it was fun.
You know,
It was interesting.
there is a story, but you know, it's difficult to find. Anyway, thank you guys so much for session.
Thank you.
And next session is 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah, 15th. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will post a reminder whenever we get close, and hopefully I will see you guys then.
Thanks a lot for the session.
Thank you.
I might see some of you guys later, and if I don't, then I will say good night.
Good
Bye,
night.
love you guys,
Good
and
night.
we'll see you guys next time. Wah, wah,
We
wah.
love you more.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
We can be anywhere, anytime.
Well, if we have items from there, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it also has to be